I had it double muted. Sorry. Half of that you didn't hear. I just got back from San Diego. I'm still a little tired. And I've got like half a system going on right now because my computer's still completely not hooked up. No excuse, total boomer. How's it going, everybody? It's been a couple weeks since we had a Nerdrotic Nooner. I think we need some.
I'm excited, Gary. My voice is nearly back. I had Comic-Con voice for a bit, and so, but we were having fun. We were having fun at the con. I will say, I'm meeting up at that Marriott pool probably every night. It was great.
He was. Had his little drinks with umbrellas in it.
Oh man, it was
watching
awesome.
Nerds have seizures, watching nerds have fights, watching nerds have debates, watching nerds with their shirts off.
I mean, I missed you that last night, Gary. Sunday was kind of chaotic, but Robert Meyer Burnett was there.
Yeah,
the whole gang.
There was a bunch of drunk people there. No offense, Chris. This is not meant to be offensive. I'm not sorry I missed it.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I met some friends of yours too. So that was great.
You know what I did while you guys were out partying by the pool?
Yeah.
Went and visited my mom. Then I went to Pizza Time, which is no longer in Escondido. It's in San Marcos. And I got me a hot Hawaiian covered in pineapple, Canadian bacon, jalapenos, and barbecue sauce. And buffalo sauce. It was effing awesome. And you had a piece.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
You like it?
Yes. I don't understand how is pineapple on pizza controversial. I mean, you either like it or you don't, but people that don't like it are vehemently against it. I've always liked it.
Yeah.
I'm a ham and pineapple guy.
There's a lot of hatred for it. All I have to say to that is more for me.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. So we're back. The Nooner is back after a couple of weeks. So, you get a little pent up.
Been too long.
Sorry for the blue balls. Our apologies. We're back. And, we got to talk about Comic-Con. We also got to, talk about the entertainment news. Barbieheimer. We'll talk about that a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I also just finished the final episode of Secret Invasion.
Oh.
Whoa. Because as I was watching, it's not good. It's not good. It never was. But what was particularly not good about it was the whole Disney Marvel of it. But the acting particularly, I mean, the writing's bad, but the acting is like equally as bad this time. This time we can't go, the actors weren't given anything. They were flubbing basic lines like, what are you doing? Stuff like that. It's really, but then it goes full MCU in the final one. In the final one, sorry, spoilers, we get a couple of Super Skrulls, but of course, the real Super Skrull is mixed with another, which is kind of intermixed with another character, but it's Emilia Clarke is the Super Skrull, and she is now the most powerful superhero on Earth. I mean, she has to be. She has everybody's DNA. Every single Avenger, Captain Marvel, everybody. She can do it all. She's omnipotent, invincible. Little 5'0" Emilia Clarke is now the ultimate MCU.
This is dumb.
It's freaking dumb.
This is what happens, I think, when you get people who don't know the history of comics and don't even understand the comics reader. Comics readers care about things like continuity, canon, degrees of power. And when you're changing those things willy-nilly, whether it's adding force healing to Star Wars, which was never a thing, or this kind of thing into the MCU, it gets frustrating because what does that mean for past storytelling? How does it affect future storytelling? It's stupid. And I feel smarter for not having watched it.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to do a video on this one because as bad as things are, and yeah, things are still bad. Oh, it's like, oh my God, we just had this amazing box office weekend with Barbieheimer. And you're right, meme culture and 2 movies that people obviously like, the normies really, really loved. This is your last good box office weekend for 2 years? Maybe more? Can you think of a movie that's coming out, or 2 that are going to come out that are going to equal this box office weekend? Maybe Deadpool 3, but that's getting delayed because they stopped shooting it. So, yeah.
Dune.
Dune,
Part 2?
I want Dune to do that well. I do. I sincerely do. I want it to be good. I want it to make $1 billion. I just don't think it will.
No,
I don't think it
you're
will.
right.
If I'm wrong, I'll freely admit it.
I mean, no disrespect to Dune. I'm a lifelong Dune fan from reading it the first time when I was 14, the first novel. But it's one of the, even amongst like nerd culture, it's always been one of those like, oh, and then there's Dune, right? The Dune freaks. That's why there's not a lot of Dune merch. There's not a lot of. I mean, I did buy a Dune sandworm.
You have Dune merch. I kind of want that now.
Yeah,
I want. It's like, I missed the boat on the David Lynch Dune merch. Maybe I need to go back and grab that.
I bought a bunch of it and then I got rid of it. I did sort of a like nostalgia rebuying it and then purged it just to make space. I don't know, but now I'm all about like weird movie props and whatnot. Like,
yeah, weird stuff.
Pricier thing. So I have like the ducal signet ring from Dune, from the new Dune with Timothée Chalamet, and they do make one that's from the David Lynch Dune as well, but it's not nowhere near as cool as the one for Dune. The Denis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
That's
so I think
my pronunciation was proper, by the way. It's actual French. Just kidding. Yeah, and then you saw a movie that we'll talk about that I don't think I think it's going to be a fart in the wind, but I could be wrong. It's my second favorite ride at Disneyland. I mean, my first favorite was the old Pirates before they PC'd it out and made it gay. The one they haven't effed with at all was a Haunted Mansion, which is a brilliant work of genius. That ride is it's totally immersive. It's so good. It's a piece of art. The Haunted Mansion, freaking love it. The original one at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
Then Indiana Jones probably would be third.
This is why you and I get along so well, Gary. I love Pirates, the old Pirates.
The old Pirates.
It's the best. It's not just the sights, the sounds. It's the smells,
the immersion,
the sort of vastness. You're in the middle of a pirate. I mean,
when you're going down the raft and you got like the old man in the wooden house, and you're like, it feels like the bayou or somewhere in the south, and then you look at the ceiling and they have all the clouds painted on the sea. It's just so good. It's so good. Not anymore though. I mean, I don't mind Johnny Depp being in it, but they used to have men chasing women because they were raping and pillaging because they were pirates. They reversed that because of politically correct reasons a long time ago, and that ruined it forever, to be honest with you. But Haunted Mansion movie came out, and you saw it. Did you go to a theater to see that?
I saw it in a theater. On, was it Monday? Yeah, I saw it. Yes, I am pleased to report Disney has another flop on its hands. This thing, I mean, there's one positive about it. I actually saw it with Alan Ng. So he and I sat next to each other watching the movie.
X-Ray Girl's dad.
And so exactly, X-Ray Girl's dad. One day the two of you will meet. But it's the one thing Alan turned to me and goes, well, at least it's not woke. Like there's nothing woke about it, really. It's just bad. It's a Disney Plus kids show. It's not even, I don't even know if this would be scary for kids. It's so dumb. And the other sort of redeeming thing about it is that it's very accurate to the ride and kind of explains aspects of the ride. You're actually in the Haunted Mansion from the ride. Other than that, I was so bored. And Lakeith Stanfield, who I really like as an actor, him in a kids movie doesn't work. It's just awful. I mean, he's more of a serious actor. But like him being in this, boy, he is forced into it. I mean, I guess you could say maybe some of the casting is sort of, typical Disney forced diversity stuff, but I've become so used to that. Like I don't even care. But it's just boring. It's a boring kids movie that should have gone direct to Disney Plus. It will bomb this weekend. I don't even know if it'll be in the top 5. The top 3 is going to be Barbie, Oppenheimer, Sound of Freedom, probably Mission Impossible. Haunted Mansion will not crack that. I don't think anybody cares. It's completely inoffensive. You'll walk out of the theater and forget that you saw a movie. It's just god awful. And but the one, maybe the saving grace is it doesn't look like they spent a whole lot of money on it. It's not like a $200 million movie. It has to be, and look, who knows? Because money is spent so foolishly at Disney these days. It might have cost $150 million, but it sure doesn't look like it.
Well,
so, yeah.
Secret Invasion cost 220, 250. I'm not really sure. Over $200 million to make.
212 million.
$212 million. We'll show you a little bit. Mr. Bug's tweet that he put up. Hail, Mr. Bug, by the way, of the final ending scene where I was just like, what? And
yeah, I saw
no,
it just looks so funny.
but that's the visual aid to hook you in. But what they, I'm not sure I understand either. Tell that bitch to shut up. Okay,
Sorry.
we're doing a show.
You want to show it?
Let's show it in a minute. First, let's say hi to you.
Oh, hi.
Wait, I got my soundboard back.
People. I've missed those sounds.
Excellent. Agoo.
Hello, everyone.
How did
Yes,
you
I'm
like
cold.
Oppenheimer?
I didn't watch Oppenheimer or Barbie.
Because he destroyed your people. How did you not watch either of those movies? Wait a minute. We're gonna have a. We're having.
Well, okay.
Sorry, team meeting right on the show. What the hell,
this is my
woman?
life right now.
What's your life?
I had a leak in the house.
Excuse.
So we called a plumber.
Excuse.
The plumber
2.
turned the water off
Excuse
and then turned
3.
it back on.
Excuse
the
4.
water heater broke. So then we called the plumber back. It was fine. We had to get the company to come and fix the water heater. The water heater broke and flooded the house.
Okay, this is all I'm hearing is bubbity boogity, bubbity bibbity, boogity boogity. For one, your husband is a cyborg, so he can directly talk to the machines so they can self-repair, so I don't want to fucking hear it, okay?
I wish.
And he can handle it while you go do work. Lazy ass one-legged.
I'll tell him that.
Yeah, you tell him that. You tell him I said that.
But yeah, we're working on fixing the house now.
Okay. So you're gonna plan to see Barbieheimer before everybody's done? Well, I mean, everybody be done talking about it by next week.
I plan to see Oppenheimer, but not Barbie.
So you're gonna see the man who destroyed your people. That's terrible.
Well, I mean, Japan isn't my people technically.
Oh, you're not Japanese?
No. Why do we all look the same to you? You white people.
I'm just trying to take the heat off Chrissy, everyone. Oh, Legion of Memers, I asked it yesterday, and I don't know if you did it. I'm going to ask you today. We need an Oppenheimer poster with the review on the bottom that says, "We were blown away," and it says Nagasaki Times.
No. Oh, God. Hilarious.
I'm trying to take the heat off of Chrissy from last night's okay. I don't even want to get into. I'm just going to say one guy was triggered by a joke that I completely forgot about, which shows how insensitive I am. But I mean, we've been much worse. To be honest with you, we've been so much worse. So if that offends you, to the guy on Twitter, I'm sorry. I am. I'm sorry, Chrissy hurt your pussy. I'm sorry. There you go. Friday Night Tides, tune in this Friday. Sean from Think Before You Sleep.
Hey, I'm excited.
Do you remember the joke, Chris? You were there.
I don't remember.
I don't remember it either.
Chrissy tweeted about the article, and then I thought, I don't even remember that joke. I mean, some of those things just go by so fast and furious. I don't even hear them sometimes. It's just like, or I'll laugh and whatever, and on to the next thing. But it just, to me, is sort of having a conversation with friends who are trying to trying to make each other laugh.
Yep.
And when that happens, it's great. So I don't know. Sometimes it's offensive. Probably not a joke I would make, but it doesn't matter. I thought, I just don't care. Like, I don't know. Why do people take all that stuff so seriously? But, good, any press is good press, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the deal. It's here's what a lot of this is. This guy's not offended. This guy's trying to get people to his blog, and he's actually using this is how you use your own thing. I won't even say people. I'll just say thing. How people use their own thing to drive traffic to their sites or whatever. This guy wasn't really offended by that joke. I mean, like I said, if you've been watching Friday Night Tights for a long time, there's been far more offensive jokes. I mean, it's totally okay that we've been making a joke about an Oppenheimer trilogy. I have personally with I can't wait for Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That one's okay. That one's fine. We've made all kinds of horrible jokes, and they're jokes. That's all they are. They're meant to make you out there crack a smile or go, oh, or cringe or whatever. But most of the time, people who don't walk around getting permanently offended don't care. Most of these people aren't offended. They're just using it, which makes it worse, actually, if you think about it. If you flip it, it's exploitive. It is. Making a joke just to laugh. Comedy's been around forever. It's the modern philosophy. It's the way it is. If you put rules on it, you put rules on art. So all these people who claim that they were all free-thinking freaking liberals weren't for the most part, especially in Hollywood. So nothing's going to change. Friday Night Tights stays as is, and we've weathered way worse than this. A guy whipped out his fucking dick on the show. Okay, his little teeny peepee. Yeah, we can. It's fine. But yeah, good for Chrissy for defending herself, and I got her back, 100%, 100%. Okay. So we went to con. And we had a panel, Chris. It was pretty good. It was pretty inspirational panel. I didn't think it would turn out that way. I thought it would be like, I don't know. I didn't have many expectations, but I thought it'd be just informative. But I didn't think it would be quite as inspirational as it was,
That was always my intention, was to bring on, because there is a movement to create new films, new comics, just a new wave of creators. And I feel like there's a lot of things I wish I knew before, I'd done projects. It's always like, you kind of learn the lesson on the current project. So what I always like to do is just pass on info. And the problem is the entertainment industry, more than any other industry, and I would say by entertainment, I don't mean comic books. I mean, for the most part, like, the film industry, people keep their cards close to the chest. Or is it close to the breast? Or is it close to the vest? Is it chest, breast, or vest?
I think it's vest.
Vest.
Is it close to the vest?
But I think
Vest,
it could be
okay.
either of those things. It could be any of
They're
those
all
things.
kind of in that area.
It works. Close to the vest, though.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
So I don't care, because I feel like I can give you the same info that I've had. You're going to make something completely different. You're going to do it a different way, whatever, So I just said, here's how you get your movie distributed. Here's how you get your movie on iTunes and Vudu or Amazon. Here's how you sell your movie on YouTube. Here's how you, or Vimeo. Here's, like, I would just, like, if you watch the panel, which is on the Film Threat YouTube channel, and unfortunately audio is not great. You can hear it, but next time I really have to plan to, like, get the audio from the board, get a real camera. It was a last minute thing where a buddy of mine just set up a camera, this guy Grady, and he just filmed it. So
thanks, Grady.
Yes, we got it. The audio's not great. I know people complain about the audio, but the information is there. You can kind of suffer through it. And I saw a lot of people taking notes. I was giving out websites and contact info and go here, so I just want to genuinely help people, like, and go do your thing. And it's all going to rest on your shoulders, because if everybody has access to all this information, it's all going to rest on the quality of the project.
Yes.
So
yes, and it was kind of across the spectrum. I talked about YouTube a little bit. Eric talked about his book. Eric was a rock star there. Eric signed at CGC. He signed at Gabe El Taib's booth, and he gave us a spot to sign too, which was really nice. And it was all like impromptu, last minute. My intention was just to go and hang out with Chris and Garrett and have fun and go shopping. That was I just wanted I wanted to go enjoy con because I haven't in a long time. And once I heard Hollywood wasn't going to be there, I started actually looking forward to it. And I ended up having a great time, like a really great time.
yes.
First one in a long time, like inside the con. I've always had good times outside the con, but inside the con, it was really crowded. But if you go later in the day, it's manageable. Sunday was absolutely nuts. Sunday was the busiest day, which was crazy.
Really?
And that's because there was no Hollywood. So I'm sure everybody's thinking, well, I'll just go Sunday. Everybody's going to go Saturday. I'll go Sunday. And everybody went Sunday. But downtown was packed. The only sad part is downtown San Diego is not the jewel it used to be. It is. It smells of piss. It's covered in shit. There's homeless people everywhere. And in front of kids with their shit hanging out. It's like a mini San Francisco. It's not as bad as San Francisco, but like San Diego was, it used to be like this back in the 80s, and they cleaned up the downtown area pretty good. It's creeping back to that now. At least back in the 80s, there was like the occasional hooker to break the monotony, but that we don't have that. It's just homeless people now. And it's bad. It was freaking horrible. Garrett and I were walking, we parked and we walked about 7 or 8 blocks, right? And it just smelled like fucking piss. It was disgusting. It was freaking disgusting. I don't miss cities. San Diego was a beautiful city. Grew up there. It's Los Angeles South now. So that part, bad. The con, I think they did a pretty good job. They still do some very con weirdness, like when you want to enter, you have to enter certain hallways a certain way, and there's an exit. That's just little shit, though. I mean, most of the time, they do a pretty good job for their nonprofit status. I don't know if this is just going to be like a one little throwback con, and it'll be back to normal when Hollywood comes back. But when Hollywood comes back, it'll probably be next year. It will have been so since the last time we had a real con. Of the recent variety with Hollywood without masks, without COVID was 2019, Chris, 2019. So this was a real con just without the Hollywood fanfare. Oh, and I'll see when it returns, like how much of a difference it makes. Cause like they honestly didn't miss it at all. They could tell these studios to F off at this point, I think, and it would be probably fine. I don't know how much they add. I think they just add a bunch of people who come in and want free shit and don't buy anything, which doesn't help the floor of the con. And the people who are going to buy shit are going to buy shit. And people were doing that a lot. There was a lot of comics being sold, and it made me very happy. But at least I enjoyed this year, and we'll see what happens next year when Hollywood makes its big comeback and it promotes all its movies for 2025. Because everything's going to get moved to 2025. They're even talking about, I hope this is not true. There's 2 movies I'm very much looking forward to that they're possibly delaying. Now, I don't know about Dune, Chris, because we talked to somebody who worked on the movie, and he would have said something. He was giving us not like detailed information, but he's like, "Hey, I was working on it. I watch you guys." But he was telling us what a great experience it was, like from beginning to end, and he like, oh God, he was working on some other projects that weren't as fun, and he was hoping he would get put on Dune 2, and he did. And he just sounded overly enthusiastic about it, said it was fun to work on, and didn't mention a word about it possibly being delayed, which I think would be devastating to the film, to be honest with you, but whatever. There's another movie that's going to be delayed, possibly, according to Screen Rant. Do you have that article, X-Ray Girl? This would be very disappointing. Very, very disappointing.
I can find it.
Screen Rant, Marvel's delay. The Marvels might get delayed. Don't you dare! Don't you dare! This is my Christmas. You cannot take this from me. You cannot take this from me. Disney, Marvel, I know you listen all the time. I know Kevin Feige's a regular watcher of this show. Big fan of X-Ray Girl, he is. Just kidding. He likes Chris Gore. Delaying this movie will not make it better unless you reshoot the entire thing with new characters, a new director, new stories, and you somehow bring back Iron Man, Cap, and Thor and call it the Marvels. That would be the only way this movie will make money. Other than that, you're delaying, I'll use the words of Thanos, and the inevitable. The Marvels its failure is inevitable. And I can't wait. I can't wait. Not any longer. November 10th is long enough. Just drop it, take your L, and move on. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. I mean, it's going to well, your brand is permanently damaged already. There's not much you can do. But hey, I'll ask the audience, are you guys going to stick around until 2026 or 7 when they turn things around? Anyone? You going to stick around, Chris? You holding out? You're like, I'll wait.
What's interesting is the biggest movies this year will not be superhero movies.
No.
If you look at the biggest films of the year,
they weren't last year either.
Yeah, it's I see a trend, but that's I would just to echo what you said about San Diego Comic-Con. I had friends of mine who are dealers. You know, they have small booths, small companies. My friend Tony Kim, who has a company called Hero Within, where they do like superhero and genre related like clothing. He had his best Thursday ever of any Thursday at a booth at Comic-Con. The dealers were, the dealers had to be really happy because you've got 8,000 additional people on the floor who would have been in Hall H. You've also got more people who might have been in Ballroom 20 for some of these big things. So good on the dealers, I'm sure, had their best year ever. In addition to the fact that there's no masking or crazy rules about like, you know, here's my COVID test. It's just a normal con. And I think people went crazy. I bought a bunch of stuff and whatnot. I'm sure we could do a show and tell later. You bought some cool stuff, really cool stuff. But,
yes, we'll show it later. X-Ray Girl, just go to my Twitter, scroll down. I did a screenshot of the article, so you can just but just put Screen Rant, the Marvels delay. That should be able to find it. I found it.
Is the delay? Is this now the 6th delay of the Marvel?
If it happens, it's not been made official. Oh no, it's CBR. Sorry, did I say Screen Rant? It's CBR. CBR.
That's why I had troubles.
And well, this should come up anyway. I don't know. My Google's tailor-made to find shitty articles. It does it very well. It does it very, very well. Maybe because I've been searching them for going on 6 years now. Yes. So this is again reportedly this is CBR. This could be written by maybe this was written by the guy who just got fired, Chris, and went to your other panel and asked a question. He's like, "Yeah, I just lost my job at CBR as of last Thursday," and maybe this is him. You never know, or maybe this is I am Brad Lang, and his name is actually spelled 01100010001. I don't know. Maybe it's Chat GPT. I don't know. But CBR is not doing that well, and I would not take what they put out as gospel in any way, shape, or form. But Disney, the Marvels, Disney is reportedly considering delaying the Captain Marvel sequel. No! I have got to beat Dan Vask. Dan Vask, I saw you react, motherfucker. All right. Yeah. No. You know what would make me happy is Rings of Power is finished early. Will be released this year. That would make up for it. Here, I can see it on this one. As hype steadily begins for the Marvels. You feel the hype, everyone? Are you feeling it, Chris? The hotly anticipated Marvel Cinematic Universe sequel may be postponed. Per Bloomberg, insiders who reportedly are familiar with Disney's release schedule state The company is looking at pushing back several 2023 releases due to the Writers Guild strike and the Film Actors Guild strike. Oh, and there's also another strike, which I don't care about. I think the Teamsters are going to go on strike. I think UPS is on strike. Are they on strike yet? You know who isn't on strike?
I don't know.
The Nooner. We're not on strike. Friday Night Tights, not on strike. Real BBC, not on strike. The primary reason, but there is Clownfish did a great. They do great videos, but they did a video. I guess certain influencers, f that word, by the way. You know, we need to start a podcast, Chris, called Under the Influencer, just because I like that name, unless somebody's done it already. Under the Influencer.
Love it.
There, that's mine. Where was I? Oh, so certain influencers, I guess, are members of the Film Actors Guild. So if they go out and promote things, they're breaking it. They're breaking the strike. What influencers became members of the Film Actors Guild? Who's doing that? I'm not, nor will I ever be any part of a union. The primary reason, remember when that talk, I don't know do you remember the talk of the YouTubers union, Chris?
I never heard of that, but that sounds awful.
It's retarded. For one, YouTubers would never, ever do that. There would be like 10 or 12 would go, let's get together, workers of the, YouTube unite. And then there'd be like, fuck that, I'm making videos while they're on strike. Which is what I'd do. The primary reason behind the alleged delay is the inability for performers. Are we saying there was performers in this movie? I think that's a stretch. I think it's a little bit of a stretch. But here comes a bigger stretch. And creative teams. So they're insinuating that there was a performer and a creative team behind the Marvels. Okay. To promote their films per the union's request. Despite these claims, others have suggested that the Marvels may still make its November 10th release date, that the marketing for the film has already progressed beyond the point of delay. Disney and Marvel Studios have yet to address the report at the time of writing. Chris, I think it's a possibility. I think it's a possibility Dune and the Marvels could get delayed. Do you?
Look, first of all, I actually think it was Alan Ng who said that the Marvels would benefit from not having the cast talking about the film and promoting it.
I could not agree. I think Hollywood benefits overall. I think Barbie got its marketing done early, but it was like fun marketing, and there wasn't a bunch of junket articles or interviews with people talking about patriarchy, because I think that might have affected it, and it didn't, obviously. And it has it hurt Barbie or Oppenheimer to not have they had a red carpet for Oppenheimer last minute, right? But they're not doing any interviews right now. Like, nothing's going on right now. We just got the movies out, and it doesn't seem to be hurting them at all. Even though Barbie's message is completely filled with intersectional feminism. Without so much cope going on online. It's like, guys, if you liked it, cool. But it's an intersectional feminist movie, okay? From beginning to end. Yes, it's a girl's toy.
Did you see actually that Brett Cooper liked the movie and Ben Shapiro didn't, and they debated? It was actually really entertaining.
Well, it's good. If that was authentic, I think that's good. I think that's what I was kind of hoping would happen on Friday Night Tights.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to say anything, but
it didn't.
Come on, ladies of FNT.
Yeah.
Of which there are probably two, but
there's two.
There were two,
and neither of them saw the movie. X-Ray Girl. That's all right. I mean, it's just a dumb live stream, right? The Marvels will serve as a sequel to several MCU projects, most notably Captain Marvel, WandaVision, Ms. Marvel, and Secret Invasion. Well, I just listed off all the things you need to see before you watch the Marvels: Captain Marvel, WandaVision, Miss Marvel, and Secret Invasion. And I can tell you, out of all of those, WandaVision is probably the best, just based on the first 2 episodes. They're all equally bad. I didn't watch the rest of the Miss Marvel, but I mean, I wasn't interested enough to finish it, to be honest with you. And I've watched them all other than that. And Groot. I didn't watch that Baby Groot show.
I watched it. I watched the Baby Groot show.
How was it?
I binged all the episodes in about an hour. There's a series of short films. They're cute and for kids and whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty forgettable.
The only thing I've liked on Disney Plus is the Guardians Christmas special.
That was pretty good. It's clever.
People were raving about like Werewolf by Night. It was mid at best, and it was a joke. Yeah. It was cool seeing the man thing, but it was done as a joke instead of making it like. I would have made it like I would have pushed PG-13 as hard as you can, and made it scary, or I would have made it rated R. But that's me. Okay, so to see the Marvels, you need to see all 4 of those. Maybe Disney thinks you need more time to watch that. Maybe they're like, okay, nobody's watching Wanda, Miss Marvel, or Secret Invasion. Maybe they need more time. No. Bringing together the core trio of Carol Danvers, Brie Larson, Monica Rambeau, can't say her name, Kamala Khan, Iman, under the supervision of Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson, who has just completely been deconstructed as a character now. He's a Skrull simp. He's a Skrull simp, and he wouldn't have made it where he was if it wasn't for the Skrulls, and he got his eye scratched out by a kitty cat. Welcome to Disney Marvel, and that is Disney Nick Fury. You had a Nick Fury show, and you didn't use the life model decoy? Really? Not fucking once?
In my opinion, they didn't even use Nick Fury. They used this sort of hollowed out shell version.
Yeah.
That's a competition for how bad Indiana Jones character was in Indy 5. It's
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury. I almost said Nick. What could I say?
No, the chat said Nick Fury. I thought that was funny.
You're right. It's just sad. I love that character. He's a badass. He's going to assemble the Avengers. He's scarred from the past, and he got taken down by a pussy. I mean, bullshit. You know, I don't know. Look, I love Sam Jackson in that role, but they changed the character in a way that made him not cool. And how do you make Sam Jackson not cool? Well, Secret Invasion just did it.
Well, of course, you know where Sam Jackson, Nick Fury comes from, right? Where that whole idea comes from.
Was it from one of the comics?
It is from the Marvels, which is an alternate reality Marvel written by Mark Millar, who we interviewed on Real BBC a week ago. That's where it comes from. But at least that Nick Fury was like a complete badass, but not the real Nick Fury, And you were expecting some kind of twists and turns with this show because you have shape shifting. You could guess every single person who was a Skrull. And they even introduced a mask where you can change your, and you can change the look of your whole body. You can change your mask. They also, again, they did not, Nick Fury has like a robot copy of himself, basically, which you could have used easily. And in a lot of places that would have made more sense. But instead, they gave him his big moment to fight it out with the bad guy was taken by Emilia Clarke, which we knew would happen. So there was a Extremis. Oh, by the way, the Super Skrulls are Super Skrulls from Extremis and all the DNA now from all the superheroes, like all of them, that Nick Fury freely gave up and handed over. Well, Nick Fury didn't. It was Emilia Clarke as Nick Fury. I also want to point out that Rhodey, his Skrull was a woman. And I thought that was the most accurate depiction of because Rhodey, how the way he was acting in this, how nobody figured out that James Rhodes is a Skrull shows that, you know what, Thanos was right. Everybody in the MCU has a room temperature IQ. They're kind of dumb at this point. So yeah, Thanos had a really good point, and he should have won. On the blip. The blip sucks. Everything about the blip sucks. It ruined the entire MCU. It did.
I agree.
Yeah.
It also opens up too many questions. I mean, like, what if a pilot was flying a plane? The
Yes.
plane crashed and people died.
And then
Those
they get
people
blip
don't come
back. What if you're that's a bunch of plane passengers falling from the sky?
Yeah.
What if they were on a cruise ship? They're all drowning in the
God.
middle of the ocean.
The logic behind it, if you think about it for 5 seconds, makes no sense. They should have undone the blip. They should have had Thor go for the head or whatever it is, some way to solve that issue without the blip having happened.
Well,
and now
they couldn't just have Tony Stark die a hero. For one, Tony Stark never should have died. Never should have died. But he had to die for a daughter. A daughter.
How selfish is that? That like, it's like, and like, it could have ended with Tony Stark being a hero.
For one,
an act of self-sacrifice.
sorry, how did Pepper Potts have like, wasn't she like 50? It's like, she had a baby when she's 50?
It ends,
what?
It ends, and they find out, Endgame ends with, and they're having a baby. And it's going to be the daughter that he had a life with.
Yeah,
and
who's to say they wouldn't have that daughter anyway, that they obviously artificially inseminated and used, surrogate. Because, like, there was no way vagina candle Pepper Potts was having a baby at 50, okay?
Yeah. Ugh.
But they wanted the symbolism of dying for a daughter. I mean, because people don't have sons in the MCU anymore because it's the MCU.
Yeah, they don't show a lot of father-son relationships, do they? And I don't know, who was I watching talking about how pretty much the default setting for everything now is single mom. Single mom is like, in fact, single mom is at the center of the Haunted Mansion movie.
Oh, and Nick Fury makes a point to go, everything I know, I learned from my single mom. So it's like, you made the black character without a dad again.
Which is, I'm sure that's racist in some way.
It is.
But can there be good father-son relationships in entertainment? Whenever I see them, they stand out to me, like The Northman, or like, oh wow, like, because I never get to see this, that's why Avatar, I know that contributed to Avatar: The Way of Water, like why I enjoyed that movie. It's like, wow, an intact family with a father who is the patriarch, who is the head of the family, teaching his sons, admonishing his sons when they do poorly, giving them praise when they do well, like a normal father-son relationship, something you and I, Gary, know something about. Why is that completely excised from entertainment in almost constantly?
Like when it does happen, we're like, whoa, that was an anomaly. Like Picard season 3, father-son story, again, pushing it a little bit, with a night, but at least they're in the, 25th century or 24th century. One of the core parts of the Marvels story is the hero's inability to use their powers. Oh, great. So a bunch of characters with like really vague power set are not going to have their powers, and they're going to have to rely on their character. Oh, that's a good move. That's a good move, because Brie Larson, so much charisma. Although Ryan turned into full-on simp when he gets one tweet like. One. Bro, act like you've been there before, okay? Jesus. Go recover your dignity somewhere. Given that mysterious force has caused Carol... I don't give a fuck about the plot. Scroll up. Sorry. It's stupid. It's going to be a dumb fucking show. So it's going to be like Freaky Friday. Oh, that's the whole article. So whatever. Get it.
Oh, my God.
They just don't delay it. Don't you dare. I have it super circled on my calendar, right? I have it circled, and then I have little hearts around it with little OMGs and little arrows pointing to that circle. Yeah, I cannot wait. I'm counting the days like I'm in prison. I'm like on each day to November 10th. Because I think that is the stake in the heart of Disney Marvel. I think it's it definitely is the stake in the heart of the MCU, which, I mean, quite frankly, it's already there. It's just people are pounding away at it. Disney is pounding away at it. Pounding and pounding. Because Secret Invasion, yeah, I just finished it like 10 minutes before the show started, and I'm still processing how much that sucked. But I think the thing that sucked the most was the acting was just awful by Samuel L. Jackson. It's worse than Snakes on a Plane, the dub version. It's that bad. It is that bad.
Wow.
It is. I'm going to read a couple soups, then you can tell us about Haunted Mansion.
Sure. Not much to say, but yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't have to spend a bunch of time on a movie. I have no plans on seeing. But Crew Kid 52 for $20 says, "Hi, guys. Saw Oppenheimer, and it was good stuff. I also do have to say that while I'm happy Hollywood is burning, I hope it doesn't burn too much because my older sister's boyfriend works on the tech side of things at a big studio. He's going to be the first person affected. And probably, I just hope he's not. Because while the actors and the writers are working stuff out, everybody below the line can mean a lot of things, but we'll say post-production and below the line are going to be horribly affected. And then all the shops around the studios are going to be horribly affected like they were last strike. But screw them. And even like, I don't know what the actors are striking over. The writers have some beefs. But if this is about residuals, Robert Meyer Burnett did a stream last night. Don't know if you saw it, Chris, but he explained it pretty well. We've explained it well. There are no residuals with streaming. That $300 check is about what you're going to fucking get. Because as Robert explained it, as I've explained it in the past, aside from these ad tiers, which are not doing well for Netflix or Disney, before that, it was just we bought a series and we played it. So they're not generating any money unless it's bringing in actual subs. So you would have to get a percentage maybe off of the sub that comes in. But it's not being licensed. It's not getting ads. There's no residuals. And the numbers are really low. You might end up owing money. They're so low.
Is it like Spotify? They look at like in terms of the way that they determine, there's got to be some math that determines why a writer from She-Hulk got $300, and that doesn't include, the actors get a residual as well, generally more than the writers. So how is that? I would love to see the math.
Is it a residual or a bonus? We got to make that distinction, right?
And even it was, I got to give credit to Paul Chato. He said part of the reason he believes that they're kicking the can on the strike and just sort of, just dragging on these negotiations with the writers in particular is because they need to come up with a business model that makes sense. They need to, because streaming is not the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow they thought it would be.
No.
It just isn't. Streaming was not. I think it's unbelievable how big tech is this double-edged sword. Social media, it's connected us and made us all hate each other and turned us into assholes. It's, streaming is like all this stuff is available, but it's censored, or there's trigger warnings added. Hold on to your physical media. Or, it's broken the business model when the business model was perfectly fine the way it was. Movies came to theaters, they made a lot of money. Then about 6 months or even longer, it would come out to some video on demand, then on Blu-ray, then it would be on television. Think of the old model of how movies came out. They were making a fortune. Now it's just smaller and smaller pieces of the pie. And I'm sure you've had this happen to you, Gary. Someone mentioned the show and say, yeah, did you catch season 7 of, blah, blah, blah. And I say, I didn't even know there was a season 1. I've never heard of that, what you just told me about.
Yeah.
There's just too much shit.
There's too much stuff, and they can actually spread it out over the next couple of years. That's why the producers are completely dug in. And yeah, there's a paradigm shift going on. I explained it in my last video. And that model, which was working fine, is dead, whether we like it or not. Yes, that model worked. But then new technology was introduced. You know, remember Silicon Valley, one of the best shows ever made, especially that season 1. Mike Judge, it's freaking great. There's a conference called Disrupt. It's a real conference. They do it at the San Francisco Concourse, which is where they used to do the Alternative Press Expo. Been in there many times. And they really like that word disrupt because that's what technology does. Uber disrupted the taxi industry. Uber Eats changed restaurants, and it actually helped quite a bit. But Airbnb disrupted the hotel industry. Now there's still hotels, but you have that Airbnb option. Believe me, they tried to squash Airbnb. I was in San Francisco when they tried to squash Airbnb, like completely, and they couldn't. The taxis tried to squash Uber. The unions couldn't. And the gig economy was created. So it doesn't destroy the industries. You just need to adapt. Now, taxis are still around, but nowhere near what they used to be because they didn't adapt. They had plenty of time to do it. So Hollywood's going through that now. Publishing has gone through this. Music has gone through this. And now movies and television are going through the same thing. Once things are digitized, they become less valuable. They become more disposable. And boy, our entertainment has certainly become disposable. After watching Secret Invasion, it does belong in the garbage. It should be pulled off the fucking... Now you're seeing why these things are costing them so much money. They pull them off their platform because it's too much money to use for the server space, which is very expensive, by the way. Which is very, very expensive. So this technology streaming has completely disrupted the industry. They're going to have to adapt. And while they're fucking figuring out how to piece up this shrinking pie, we'll just keep making stuff. We'll keep making stuff, and it'll fragment, which I think is good. I think ultimately it's decentralized and it's good. Doesn't mean it's going away forever. Doesn't mean there won't be movies. Doesn't mean there won't be TV. On the contrary, just because Marvel and DC are completely dying doesn't mean there won't be comics anymore. There's still plenty of love for comics. There's still going to be comics. It's just going to be different, and I think that's good. And without that giant centralized power, we can have less things like fortification. I think I'd love to see that with big tech. Now, that's the one that needs to be decentralized. Someday, maybe. But yeah, that's what they're dealing with, Chris. And I don't know how they work it out. Like the Writers Guild is going to have to capitulate. They're going to have to give up that writers' room deal. I don't think they get that. Chris?
Yeah. I don't think. I think that the studios. I think Chato was right. They have to come up with a model that makes sense. And right now, it doesn't make sense. What is the calculation? How are the studios? There are two ways studios can bring in money from a streaming service. It's either TVOD or AVOD, right?
Yep.
Advertiser driven, transaction driven. Honestly, I buy a lot of movies on Vudu. I've got a collection of probably like 500 digital movies, which is fine. I did that weird thing where you could go to Walmart and get your collection, quote, digitized. Oh, I have a little cheat on that, on how to do that too.
Oh, you got to show me how to do it. I mean, I have most of it digitized, but I need I'm getting a Plex server. So.
So yeah, Plex server is probably the better way to go.
Yeah.
But how do you calculate it? For a service like Peacock, which is what, $4.99 a month? And oh, by the way, all of the streaming services just raised their prices.
They had to, yeah.
All of them. Netflix went up. They all went up by a couple dollars.
YouTube Premium went up.
Yeah, it did. I love YouTube Premium.
I know.
And you never watch commercials.
You never watch commercials, and a lot of people go to Prime. I use YouTube instead now because I'm on YouTube. But no, you're right. It's figuring that out. What needs to happen is there needs to be 4 streamers. That's about it. and Paramount and Universal and fucking Peacock all need to go back to just making shit and licensing it out to the streamers. And then you could still syndicate, overseas and stuff and still make money that way. It won't be as much as it used to be, but it'll still be a better revenue income than relying on subs that really aren't there. They're inflating the shit out of their numbers, folks. They're full of shit when it comes to their numbers. And a lot of people, just use it for a month and cancel. Like I can't think of a thing I would use Netflix. I'm watching the last part of The Witcher, and I guess Castlevania is coming out, and then I'll watch those, and then I'm out. I don't need it. Like, what would I need it for? I found physical copies of the movies that are on there that I like Bright, because they exist.
Right.
They exist. You can find them. Chris, I don't think they're going to get the writer room thing, though. The mandated writer room where they have 6. I just don't think the producers will ever capitulate on that. They'll say no.
I actually spoke to. We should talk to. I mean, I should have introduced. I mean, it was like so much stuff happened at the con.
Yeah.
Every time we get together, catch up. What did you hear? What'd you hear? So I talked to a woman named Jeanette Kahn. You might have heard the name. She worked on The Simpsons for years. She's a producer. She is the head of the Animation Guild. There is an Animators Guild. You don't hear about them too often because they're not particularly into drama. Their contract is up, I think she said, in like a year. And it's probably just going to follow. All the things that they're fighting for now are just going to carry over to animators. But the way she explained it to me, we were talking about AI and the shortened seasons for streaming. So like it used to be a network order was 26 episodes, and they do less than that. They were following more the British model of fewer episodes. And what that does is it cuts down on the amount of work time, right? And it's going to get worse because AI, they're already using AI for a lot of ways in which they do animation, right?
Right.
They call them, have you ever heard this term, the in-betweeners? The in-betweeners, they would do you can use AI for in-betweeners now.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically you're losing jobs for people in South Korea. But anyways, it's going to cut down on the amount of time it takes to do animation.
Mm-hmm.
So something that might have been a job where you're employed for 6 months and you're making really good money for 6 months of the year, you can afford to be unemployed for the other 6 months of the year. And everyone I know, no matter what level, they collect their unemployment. They take that money. Now you're going to be taking jobs where you might only be employed 4 months of the year. And that's the way she explained it to me. And this is the problem. That's why streaming has just kind of broken everything. And so
we're back to that word disrupt. Yeah. It has. And they ran into it too quickly. They've been building up for a long time. So let's to be fair, Disney Plus has been in production, as far as I know, since 2013. So, and maybe sooner, maybe before that. And Netflix had a huge head start on everybody, on absolutely everybody. And that's why they're geared towards, the binge model, which gets all the minutes on that new Nielsen rating, which just helps them. But I still think the binge model is totally unsustainable. That's why but a worse solution is splitting your series in half and then releasing it in a month. That's even dumber. Okay, but you know why they did that? Because they knew nobody was going to finish The Witcher. Nobody, except for critics. And The Witcher premieres tomorrow, I guess, or late tonight, tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, it's back. I got to work on Secret Invasion tonight. I think they said the 27th, right? So The Witcher will be out 27th or 28th. I can't remember which one, but it's out this weekend, the second half. And, it's just, I understand why Hollywood is panicked. And ultimately, it's Hollywood's fault, the producers made some very irresponsible decisions. So made a lot of financially irresponsible contracts. The investor money was flying in. I'm sure it felt like the Roaring 20s. You know, like we got all this money, we're making all these shows, we got all these subs signed up, you know, because people are locked in their houses and maybe they thought it was going to last forever because remember, Hollywood was allowed to work. They were considered essential when a lot of you were not, in California in particular, we're talking about. And now they're like, oh, that money was all bullshit. And streaming is not what we thought it was. So now we're going to shut everything down again. It took them 2 years to come back, folks. Like it kind of led up to this weekend. There's been hits before, by the way. You know, we had Top Gun was a hit, Spider-Man No Way Home, Avatar was an obvious hit, Super Mario Brothers smash hit. But 2 movies on the same weekend being a hit is a rare thing, you know, since 2019. But they're still way off. What are you doing? The chat's going to react to that, X-Ray Girl. Sorry.
It's a mixed. It's collagen in here, so I'd make sure. It's
Oh, God.
You had to point it out, didn't you?
The chat was going to say it.
I'm never using a shaker on the show again.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Where was I? Strike Talk.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm warm now.
I'm looking at the chat now. Oh, God.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So, Hollywood screwed. We'll just say that. They just say, yeah, shutting everything down, and they get this weekend where Barbieheimer happens. It's like meme culture meets Nolan meets woke a perfect film for woke white women. That's Barbie. And yeah, I'm gonna apply that to all the men and women who like it. Yeah, it's killing it at the box. This dude, Barbie could make $1 billion, Chris.
Yeah, it's going to.
It's going to make $1 billion. And you know what? There's fights breaking out in theaters. We got in South America there was a fight.
Oh yeah, I saw
and then
that.
my wife's theater. So Melissa, there was a fight in her theater where the kids were talking loud, and then the parent, you know, my wife's like, dude, it's Barbie. Kids are going to be here and they're going to talk loud. Big deal. But then the mom started arguing. So my wife's like, you know, you were louder than the kids. Shut up. You know, yeah, there was a little fight. There's fights breaking out all over. See what happens when you make movies for girls?
I don't believe you about the fights, Gary. Can you show me video so I can confirm?
Can you find that? It's all over Twitter.
Let me see.
I just want to like hear fights.
Some lady gets pushed in the face and she fucking goes down goes like Frasier.
I don't believe it.
I found it.
The video.
You found it?
Oh,
what's up, Dan Vask? Is Dan Vask in the chat? Hail, Dan Vask.
All right.
Que fui no
I love it.
do filme da Barbie e isso aconteceu.
Where is this?
Just in case the music.
Yeah. I think it's in South America. I think it's in
Brazil.
It's in Dan Vask land. Dan Vask is actually shooting this video. Whoa!
Oh!
Down goes Frasier.
Oh,
wow.
What was she yelling?
So I think that a kid was watching a YouTube video on full blast during the movie or something like that.
See?
That happens in public so often. I hate that. Get a pair of earbuds, AirPods, whatever you need.
Don't go to the movie.
I don't want to hear your bullshit in public. I don't want to hear your phone conversation.
Kids don't know how to behave in movies anymore.
Yeah.
Before Barbie, like, dude, I don't see kids in theaters. Like, you just don't. You know, saw some for Across the Spider-Verse, but I don't like. We as kids used to go to all kinds of movies, not just kids movies. As a matter of fact, I'd stay away from kids movies even when I was a kid. I'd watch like normal movies, watch shit like Conan. I'd sneak into Conan and stuff like that. But Barbie's bringing people together.
Wow.
Again, all I'll say, we'll hear X-Ray. Well, X-Ray Girl's not going to see it, but we'll talk to Chrissy about it on Friday because she did finally see it. And whether you like the movie or not, filled with intersectional feminism, like absolutely filled to the brim with it, and it's not some they took a shot at both sides. That's the same shit we heard about The Boys. It's the same shit. A lot of people like The Boys. The Boys does not take shots equally at both sides. It does not. It's very different from the comics. It's become very anti-MAGA. That's not what the comic was. But The Boys is the same way. Woke. Intersectional. Completely. All right. I'm going to read some more soups. I'm on the other computer. There we go. Travis Long for $20. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Oh, Oppenheimer. Has your opinion changed on Oppenheimer, Chris?
No, I still think it's bloated and too long. It's the most Christopher Nolan movie. I watched Drinker's review. He and I are exactly. I said the same thing. He said it more eloquently and in 7 minutes.
He does that.
But I mean I love the guy. But I was so happy to confirm that it's like Nolan can't get out of his own way to make a point. And one of the most powerful moments in the film, there's no music. It's the moment where they're talking about which city to bomb, and they have that conversation about Kyoto because it has cultural significance. Oh, and I honeymooned there. You know, it's but it's such a powerful moment. It gets a big laugh, and there's no music. Whereas everything is just punctuated by here's how I want you to feel. Here's how I want you to feel. Here's how I want you to feel. It's
and you don't feel anything. That's the thing.
Because it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah. The first hour is delivered dialogue, next scene dialogue, next scene dialogue, next scene dialogue, next scene dialogue. And you're trying to go over this early part of his life that could have been done in 10 minutes, bro.
Yes.
It's yes, he screwed a lot of communists, but he wasn't a communist. But he just liked to have sex with them a lot. and hang out with them and give them money, but he wasn't a communist. Okay, whatever. But you're right. The middle part was good. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. Let's make that clear. That's absolutely. I thought it was well made. There was some really good acting performances. Robert Downey Jr. just killed it in this movie. And Cillian Murphy was really good as well. But it was just too long. And admittedly, biopics are not my thing. I'm not into them that much. I like raw history, or as raw as I can get. It's usually propagandized in some way or form. And I don't think Nolan did that. I think Nolan did try to show. I think it was a pretty objective view, although there was a lot of subjective. I thought there would be more of the objective, subjective, because if it's in color, it's subjective. If it was black and white, it was objective. It was mostly in color. That's most of the movie was very the subjective point of view. So take that what you will. But yeah, it was too long. I won't watch it again. But I know a lot of people liked it. So, and it's doing very well. And our theater was sold out, and we had trouble finding tickets. Wow. So people are going to this 3-hour movie. They're enjoying this. We had mild clapping at the end, but it's a very adult movie, And again, maybe it's a personal flaw. I don't like dramas. I don't like biopics. I need wizards and fucking spaceships or drug deals gone bad or something. Bomb blowing up is pretty good, but there was no science. I wanted some more science, Chris.
Yeah.
They really didn't get into that at all.
It could have been interesting. I watched a 3-hour and 15-minute movie about making a nuclear bomb. Why don't I know how to make a nuclear bomb?
Yeah, I
Should
need
have
to
been
know
at
how to
least
make one. I think.
basic science.
By the way, you can. That's out there. You ever read the Anarchist Cookbook, Chris?
Way back in the day.
Way
but
back
yes,
in the day.
I have,
Yes.
Gary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I read a better book.
I've read a lot of better books.
This was, I think, the 80s. I read this book called Getting Even, and it was a book that was just all weird tricks you could play on people, and it was
I gotta read that. I missed that one.
It's called Getting Even.
Anarchist Cookbook was a rite of passage as a teenager back in the 80s. If you were,
I remember.
Yeah, so that's why we read it. There are some cosplayers that are a part of SAG, which is stupid. Yes, this is Matt Fakshin. I am using my real name and face now. Also, I believe unions should be used only for trades and other physical labor jobs, not adult pretenders. I would say you can make a much better argument for it when it comes to trades. I think you can. But I would also counter argue that in a country like Canada and a state like California, not sure with Texas law, there are laws on the books that pretty much act as your union. And the thing is, like, it still can't keep you. Unions protect. The teachers' unions are the worst. The absolute worst. They protect fans of the playground. They're horrible and they need to be broken up. They're terrible. Like those trade unions, I guess you could make an argument for. I'm an individualist, so I'm fundamentally against them completely. But I understand that they exist in the world. I do. I understand that. Frederick Raymer and thank you for the super chat, Matt, by the way. Frederick Raymer for $20. Enjoyed the panel y'all did at San Diego Comic-Con. I've been stuck in development hell the past few years trying to make my first indie feature. Mr. Gore, any advice on chain of title for a project intent to be a self-financed and produced?
Chain of title. I get an attorney. The attorney that I used, you can look up this person's name. It depends on the type of movie you're trying to make. His name is Michael Donaldson. He mainly works in the documentary space. He wrote the fair use argument, which is the argument that documentary filmmakers are able to use footage in certain ways. There are limitations on it, but he wrote that argument. It changed the way documentary films are made. It changed YouTube. So Michael Donaldson, I spent about $5,000 for him to go through my movie, and just we tweaked a few things in the film so we would be legally in the clear. But I use a lot of footage and I'm legally in the clear for the film that I made. So I recommend him. But also, if you're not the right fit, he will recommend a different attorney. But I do recommend getting an attorney. And then I also recommend do not get insurance unless you're forced to by a distributor. I almost dropped about $5,000 on insurance for my film, but my distributor, Indie Rights, didn't require it. However, companies like, for example, if Attack of the Doc ends up on, Netflix, I'll have to buy E&O insurance, which stands for errors and omissions. All of this is boring. We've now lost 500 live viewers. I'm sorry, Gary. I will not do that again. But that's my sincere answer to that question, and all of that is Googleable. So there you go.
There you go. You answered the question. That's fine. By the way, Hollywood is still imploding. John Getz for $40. This is in two parts, and he brings up Dark Horse. Dark Horse Comics is a comic book publisher. They publish things like Hellboy, which is, I would say, one of the tightest, best stories ever told in comic books is Hellboy and BPRD. Not joking. It's not hyperbole. It is, if you're a fan of horror and fantasy, and like, Hellboy is your jam. It is so effing good. It is so good. But you know where Dark Horse makes their money? You know where they make all their money? Translating manga. They've been doing it for years. Bounding into Comics had an article that reminded me a lot of what you've been saying about comics. 1% of Dark Horse's output is manga, yet it makes for 66% of their sales. Also, everyone buy Blu-ray copies of your streaming shows, frequently found at cons. This is true. I have Bright. I don't have Alter Carbon Season 1, but I will find it. Because I like Alter Carbon Season 1 quite a bit. I think it's fun. Interesting, you guys brought up theatrical windows and home releases being a good second wind. Many anime movies have delayed home releases. Am I going to say this right? What's this? Suzumi?
I think it's Suzume.
Suzume is a great movie that came out last November in Japan. Awesome movie. And still hasn't released at home. Yeah, you gotta let it sit. That's why, it was probably an agreement before, but if I was in charge of the Super Mario movie, I'd have let that thing stay in theaters for a year. And I think it could have. I think it easily could have. And then release it on digital where it would have made a shit ton of money. Now Barbie might beat Super Mario Brothers. That is crazy. That is insane. But the untapped market. See, Marvel. Oh man, this is going to have to be a video. I'll try to keep this real short. What was this big move into intersectional feminism? I believe began with marketing and in the comics because Hollywood felt they were losing the male audience to gaming. So they needed to find a replacement. And that replacement was the female audience because men and women back at those times were different. And I would say the first case of brilliant marketing to women, actually it's Gone with the Wind, goes way back. But in recent times is Titanic. Titanic brought men and women to the movies, and then women started going to see it, and like with all their friends, they would go in little groups and they see it, and that movie just made all the damn money. So James Cameron figured it out. But then we jumped to Twilight. Twilight did really well. Hunger Games did really well. So that started, hey, we need more women watching our stuff. We're losing the guys. So there was a poll that came out in 2014, very unscientific Facebook poll that said, it stated the obvious. It said, are you interested in comic books? And surprisingly enough, 49% who responded were women who said yes. Now, did it say, do you regularly buy comic books? Do you read comic books? No, you're just a fan. You like your pop vinyl, you like your T-shirt. So it made the industry go insane. Absolutely insane. That was the precursor to the MCU. It's been well chronicled here on YouTube over the last 5-6 years. But instead of, taking the established female characters, having them act like women, their big idea was to move into CRT, race and gender swap main characters, because, and this is Eric July brought this up, so I want to give him credit for it. They only see validation in the white male characters, so they had to change them into women and BIPOC, and that fundamentally changes your character, including the people who read them before which surprisingly enough wasn't exclusively men and white people. So that's where the big change comes. And that's what's led to the MCU and the Force is female and all this garbage is really bogus marketing data. I mean, it's obvious. Yes, half the movie-going audience is women because half the population is women. But they decided, instead of doing marketing research, has long been something you don't really need anymore, especially in this day and age. You can do it pretty easily on your own, or just hire a couple of freaking super autistic nerds that go out there and look it up online, instead of teams and entire marketing divisions and these giant corporations that just tell corporations what they want to hear. And increasingly, through middle management and the new HR and diversity inclusion, they're being influenced from the inside by people who don't really care about these things, don't really care about entertainment. They care about turning things into a platform for influence. So, and that's just off the top of my head. That is kind of a thesis of stuff I've been doing in videos for years now, and many others who had started before me. That's what's led us to this point. Marketing and HR are the devil. They're just the devil. Gray Ghost for $20 says, Hail the Nooner. I agree, Oppenheimer was a bit too long, but overall I found it fantastic, and I'm not a fan of biopics. Attack of the Doc Blu-ray was delivered today. Chris, can't wait to see it this weekend. I missed DVD Tuesday. Well, Chris, are you back from coffee?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. No, it's perfect because I got to read that, and then I can lead you right into DVD Tuesday.
Well, I got news for you.
I got news for you.
If you have the Attack of the Doc Blu-ray, there are a ton of Easter eggs. There's an Easter egg on every menu screen. Then there is a hidden Easter egg menu, but I actually made it pretty easy to find. So if you use your cursor and go around, you'll be able to find it. You're going to be able to find all the Easter eggs. And some of the Easter eggs are new episodes of DVD Tuesday I did. I went through my personal DVD collection, rare DVDs, independent films, weird stuff, and it's hidden on the Blu-ray. And then this was during the pandemic. I hate saying that. But like during when we had this weird break where we decided to destroy our economy, I consciously, which I thought was stupid, I recorded 40 episodes of DVD Tuesday that start running in August on the Film Threat YouTube channel. Every Tuesday and Thursday, new episodes of DVD Tuesday. So if you liked it, it's just me talking about like my favorite films from my collection and really weird, rare stuff, bootleg and pirated DVDs as well. Like really, did you know that Carrie Fisher did voice acting for a Frankenstein cartoon?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I
was watching Geeks and Gamers Daily, and they played a clip of G.I. Joe, and I'm like, is that Burgess Meredith?
It probably was.
It probably was.
But I love, in fact, when I went to Comic-Con, can I show you? I'm going to turn my camera on for a second.
Yeah.
And show you, I don't know, do I have enough light in this room? All right, I'm going to start wait, forget it. I'm going to be
oh my goodness.
I'm going to be in court. Sorry, I got to fix that. I got to turn that off.
He's like semi-appearing.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Sorry, Gary. Sorry. All right, I'm back. My hair shimmers. Okay. Do you remember this, Gary, this animation, Tom Terrific?
Yes.
It was played during Captain Kangaroo.
Yes.
Well, I got a bootleg DVD of it. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Frankenstein Jr.
Yes.
I love Frankenstein Jr.
Absolutely.
And then this is Turkish Star Wars.
That's awesome.
You can
So you got some bootlegs.
I can't
Yeah, I didn't
read
get any
it.
bootlegs this year. I didn't get any bootlegs.
I found some great tables. And then one of the best comics that I got at the con were free.
Oh.
If you know who Jack
Oh, yeah,
Chick
I got
is.
some of those.
So I got a bunch of these. Jack Chick was this dude who he wanted to preach religion and created a series of comic books. These are sized this way because they were intended to be put at the bottom of cigarette machines where they dispense cigarettes. So they're this size and they would fit under there. And they would just be left places for people to find them. These comic books haunted me as a kid, because every single one is you did something bad and then someone dies and then they think they're going to heaven and no, you're not in the book, you're going to hell.
You're going to hell.
There's even one here. It might be
that's
one.
X-Ray Girl right there, Party Girl.
Oh my God.
And the artwork is terrible. And it's all of the stories are exactly the same and they're hilarious. So
yeah, and they were passing them out.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I didn't do any bootleg, and I actually I had to go to Best Buy to buy a cord, and then I moseyed over to the 4K section. I got Pulp Fiction. I got Vacation Steelbook 4K, which is awesome, and Dread Steelbook. Hell yeah. Kingsman 2-pack, which I don't know why I didn't have that in 4K. I showed the books yesterday. I got a bunch of comics and stuff. But yeah, the what are they called? They're called the Chick publications.
Yeah, Jack Chick, and you can, if you Google Jack Chick, I think you send them like $5 or $10, and they'll send you a box of these comic books. But it really is just they're preaching. But I always found them scary as a kid, and then entertaining. And I don't know, there was someone passing them out, and I'm like, I want one of every single one. And you grabbed a bunch. It was great. It was awesome. I'm putting them on my shelf of oddities. But yeah, I was always fascinated by Jack Chick.
Yep.
You know.
Oh, they have
artwork.
I think they have a code on the back now where you can.
Oh wow!
They've really
You can
modernized.
go to, I'm gonna
Yeah,
try that
you
out
gotta
right
try
now.
that.
There's a little QR code.
QR code.
I'm going there.
What's up, Hayden? 75 for 50. I haven't seen Oppenheimer yet, but fully plan on going to see. Yeah, definitely go see it. I'm not telling you to not go see it. I'm just saying I'm not going to see it again. Garrett and I were talking about this with you, Chris. Nolan hasn't had to me a banger since Inception. I've liked some of the stuff. Interstellar's fine. I think it's fine. Tenet, I couldn't get through. It's like because I was watching it streaming, I just stopped. But I feel the same way about Tarantino. For the most part, I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's fun. At least that's fun. I like that movie. But I just think they've had their strong periods. Your creative period as a director only lasts so long, right? Think of Spielberg in his prime. And his prime lasted a lot longer than a lot of other people's. I think Nolan's a very competent director, one of the top 3 in Hollywood easily right now. I walked out of it going, okay, that's hot. Quick question. How did you guys feel about The Imitation Game when it came out? Any comparison to be made with Oppenheimer? Can't wait for Critics Court this afternoon. Going to be great.
Well, a couple things. Imitation Game was fine. I mean, it's more about was the Benedict Cumberbatch's performance. And Critics Court, by the way, happy to announce Nick Rekieta will be on the show for the finale, along with other special guests.
I did not watch The Imitation Game.
You never saw it?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch's character is gay. He's in the closet. And God, that's years ago. Vague memory of it. But it has that similar sort of intensity, World War II, and
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know about the history, but I didn't watch
new technology. So,
Fat Man, Little Boy, good movie.
Yep.
Check out that one.
Yeah.
Andrew Nichols, Joseph Benato? Benato. Sorry, I missed a ne. For $50. And thank you again, Hayden. Hayden out there, I was thinking about you, Hayden, because I was driving through the oil fields of Texas where it's immense. I had no idea how immense that, you drive through it and you think you're driving through a town, and it's oil fields. But it looks like a town out there, but it's not. And holy shit, there's a lot of nothing in Texas. But that was the night part of my ride. The stars were, God, it was beautiful out there. But I started getting a little tired towards the end. But I drove from San Diego to San Antonio in one straight shot.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I was by the time I started thinking about a hotel, I'm like, it's 5 more hours. I can do it. And I did it. I don't think I'll do it again, though. Hey, Gary, storytelling was how you pass down your culture and your history, and it belongs to no gender, no political party, no religion, no race, and no particular ideology. It's just about good storytelling and not cult-like ideology or the message. I agree. And within those stories, you can have messages. but they still have to be presentable. You know, if you really want to get your message across to people and you truly believe in that message, you would try to make that message out for everyone. Because are you trying to win hearts and minds? Is that what you're trying to do? Because I don't think so. I think Hollywood in their marketing at some point during 2016 or after 2016 decided we don't need that audience. We don't want that audience. They're Nazis. And forgetting that half of the audience that they just all thought were MAGA Republicans were libertarian, Democrat. They got drunk on their own fucking research. And they started to hear what they wanted to hear. And you know what? Like there has been, you know, it's not election season, so this could change next year. And God, I hope so. But we've had a lack of celebrity cause videos. It's been kind of we haven't seen a lot of them lately.
Yeah.
Now, like, I mean, we've seen a lot of celebrities visiting Ukraine, that war zone Ukraine. That's so dangerous that, you know, celebrities can go and visit. But, yeah, haven't seen a lot of cringe videos, which is kind of sad, really. Sahil for 2 British pounds. Hey, Gary, thoughts on Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4 news? I heard that, and I would just like to point out, none of that guy toots his own horn, but after the pandemic, or during the pandemic, this was before No Way Home came out, by the way, I said what Hollywood will need to survive in the future is the sure thing. They will need a sure thing. They will need a movie that will bring everybody together, make everybody happy. And my suggestion was do a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4. Do a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4. Why not? Just make it a one-off. It'll make $1 billion. And they did No Way Home, which still isn't that, but the movie made $1 billion. They did kind of a sure thing, and it worked. Instead of doing a Flash with Batman, if you'd just done a Batman with Michael Keaton by himself, that movie probably would have done pretty fucking well and made its money back. It's a sure thing, okay? You need a sure thing. There's a movie called The Sure Thing.
And fewer actual criminal actors in the movie.
Yeah. I would just Michael Keaton as Batman. You pick a rogues gallery. It doesn't even matter. You just put Michael Keaton as Batman in a movie by himself. You're fine.
And Billy D. Williams Two-Face.
Yeah, there you go.
You could have
in Arkham. You could have just shot a scene in Arkham where he goes and talks to him or something like that. That'd be great.
It could have been. That is a great idea because he was really good. As I'm thinking, oh wow, of course, obviously there's stuntman doing Batman stuff. There's some digital enhancement, but Michael Keaton as that character nailed it. It was great. I mean, I can't believe at his age. I mean, that's why you look at something like Picard season 3, and you look at all this stuff. They could have made these heroes, whether it's Indy 5 or the Star Wars sequels. I mean, who cares? Is it a weird thing that Hollywood just is just so, ageist that they don't want to take older actors and just make them do badass stuff? You could have had a badass Indiana Jones, and it was, the senior citizen and the insufferable cunt. That's a terrible title for an Indiana Jones movie. Don't use it.
But it's accurate.
I'm copywriting it. But yeah, I don't get it. We've seen examples. I mean, look how old the cast of the original Star Trek series was, by the end when they did Star Trek 6, and that movie's a blast.
So you hear Spider-Man 4, Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire, whether it happens or not, take my money.
Just do it.
Take my fucking money. Threaten me with a good time. I can't think of a single person who would bitch about that, except for maybe the Mary Sue, but who cares? Like I said, I can't think of a single human that would bitch about that. That would just that would create hype. That would you just tell a Spider-Man story. You just wrap it up. Do one more. Give him another shot. Why not? You know what? Tom Holland is taking a break and thinking about not becoming he's going to be Spider-Man again. But I kind of like that he called out Hollywood for what it was. Buddy Rabbit for $5. Has anyone told Chris he sounds kind of like Matthew Lillard? Can we get a zoinks?
Zoinks.
There you go. Nick S for four. What was that?
Oh, sorry. I was going to say I've met Matthew Lillard back in the day. I programmed a film at a film festival. He's done a lot of indie movies. SLC Punk, I'd strongly recommend.
Yep.
Before he did more mainstream stuff like Scooby Doo, but yeah, no, I love
the Scooby Doo movie was good. The first one, even with Dude Bro.
What's his name? I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah. I do the same thing Gary does. I know exactly who he's talking about, but I can't think of the name. But he and I are in sync. Like, oh yeah, I see his face right now. Don't know his name, but yeah. Oh my God.
Gary, if you and the chat are in the mood for a Western movie, I recommend Old Henry, which I watched it myself for the first time. Good father and son story. I've seen Old Henry. It's very good, Nick S. It's very good. Wayward Noodle for $5 says, "Where's X-Ray Girl's army helmet? Thought it earned more. I thought it earned her more words." Yeah, where is your? Do you still have your?
It's on my craft table right now because I had to glue the top back on because it kind of broke in my luggage. But it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I can't wear it with this, so unfortunately, I have to get proper headphones and earbuds.
Ryan Benoit for $19.99 says, "Happy Hump Day and hail to the fellowship." Gary, let me know when what you thought about the artwork I emailed, and if you want, I can send you a print. My gift to you for all that you do. Cheers, Ryan. Was it the piece I saw last week? I'll check again, Ryan. I'll check again. I'm still. I am so. Yesterday, I got back yesterday, 4:30 in the morning, slept, did the real BBC. And did nothing. Did nothing. I watched Skinwalker and the rest of Secret Invasion because oh God, it was fucking terrible. Vincent Turcotte for 5 Canadian pesos for Amelia Clark character. It's okay, Gary. She-Hulk can just rewrite her powers. I know. If there's another She-Hulk, but what I heard on the floor from somebody. I can't say who, but I was sitting there walking the floor. I ran into a person. We started chit-chatting about Marvel. And what I heard was, and this person has talked to Kevin Feige. So what I heard is they really did want a Batgirl Echo. Like that story is true. Like they tried every way to just cancel it, and they couldn't. They put too much money into it, and I think it has something to do with deals with the actors. Not really sure, but they tried and they failed. So that's why they're dumping it all at once. But by all accounts, it's awful, and Kevin Feige knows it. Kevin Feige also knows that the Marvels is awful.
Oh no!
So again. You know, it's crazy who you run into on the floor at Comic-Con and chat with. Again, we chatted with somebody who worked on Dune and got us more excited for that movie. You know, it's really cool. But yeah, it's if Marvel's going to turn around 2026, are you going to wait? I'm not going to wait. I don't think anybody's going to wait. I think it's over. Will we see a bunch of girl toy movies now because of Barbie? Probably. Whatever on that one. We'll see if they work. Is there another girl toy that's as big as Barbie?
No, not even close. I mean, Barbie has 70 years of history. Created what, 1953? So that's 70 years.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So remember when Wonder Woman came out? It was the first Wonder Woman movie. Did really well. It's not going to do as well as Barbie, but it did really well. 70 years of history, legit character. Yeah. Will there be Barbie sequels? Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for the next 20 fucking years. They'll recast Margot Robbie and it'll eventually go in direct to video, but there will be Barbie sequels forever. Chris Gore, your audio sounds like you're getting interviewed in an alley way behind the movie theaters by emergency exits in like 1989, says Calix for $5. Yeah, Chris is going to get a mic.
I am, after this whole court nonsense is over, just because it's just it was just a way bigger project than typical of anything. It's like, I'm just going to make a documentary about G4, and then 3 years later, it's, I just get very obsessive. I'm going to completely redo my setup. I am getting mics. I'm getting new mics for Alan. Like, I'm redoing everything. So yes, my apologies. I'm also like, generally I spend my mornings just doing email and as weird as it is, like, my day job is Film Threat, the website, the business, and I own it and run it. And it just, look, I can get the job done in like 2-3 hours a day, but I gotta work for 2-3 hours a day. So I am on my couch, not where my proper microphone is, but I'll have a better one in August. I promise to everybody. And I'm working on a setup, Gary. So
good.
I appreciate your patience.
Good.
Appreciate your patience.
If you want a YouTube, sound before camera.
Yes, I know.
Sound before camera.
Yeah.
Microphones are important. 200-watt studio for $2. Sounds like X-Ray Girl needs a man in her life. Oh, ouch, Mark.
He does what?
It's not going to be. We're not going to be able to do it this Thursday, but within a week, we're going to do a retrospective on Venture Brothers because it did end. But I've got Witcher coming out. I've got videos to do. I'm actually doing one tonight. So doing one tonight. I have this pile of shit right here that you can't see that I really need to get through, but I'm not going to be able to get through it till next week because I got to make videos first. All from Comic-Con. All my bags and stuff. And comics I wish I could read. Sturm von Alk for $1.99. I thought Chris sounded like Josh Gad. Ooh, that's an insult.
Oh, that's off. How do I sound like Josh Gad?
You don't sound like Josh Gad. Why is he famous? Josh Gad is one of those people. It's like, how are you famous?
Yeah, I don't sound like Josh Gad. My voice is too scratchy. It usually is like this in the morning. Once I'm hydrated and I don't eat food before noon, I sound better.
Captain Dilligaff for $9.99. Thank you for the donation. We appreciate it. Shark Dentures for $2. I always vote for on time. I am an optimist. Yes, you are. Nate the Scott, radicalized. Hail chat. Hail Frank. Hail Gary. Cheers.
Gary.
Wait, I got a clip for you guys. Hang on. It's around here somewhere. There you go.
So long, gay boys.
Buddy Rabbit for $5. Has anyone told Chris he sounds kind of like... Oh, I read that one already. Dearest for $5. I wanted to say this for the BBC. Barbie ended with her discovering her Barbieheimer.
Barbieheimer.
As I said, Jay Longbone replaced that. The last line of Barbie gets a vagina at the end. Barbie gets a vagina. That's the whole point of this. Barbie's journey to get a vagina. Ken remains dickless. And subjugated by the matriarchy at the end. But Jay Longbone put up the best meme that the last line should have been, "I'm here to get an abortion." It's terrible, but it's funny. See? That's an abortion joke. Can we make those? Abortion jokes? The answer is yes.
Hot damn.
Hot damn. Steel leg of history. Jaloja, so proud of you, Gary. Be blessed. This group of amazing folks have helped me to deal with much stress right now, and I am at my breaking point. It's just remember to laugh, and if you're at a breaking point, then whatever's stressing you out can take a break for a little while. And that could be damn near anything. Can take a break, unless it's like, I don't know what it is exactly. Compartmentalize. Like stress is, God, I'm so, like my whole early life was anxiety and stress. A lot of it was brought on by my horrible decisions, but I'm really glad to be free of that. It's nice. So I hope you're doing well. I hope our occasional abortion joke makes you laugh and makes you forget about it. It's not even mine. It's Jay Longbones. I want to give her credit. That is Jay Longbones.
Gary, have you ever heard of a Mexican film from 1968 called Batwoman?
Yes.
Okay, it's on Mubi right now. I just put I don't know if Mubi, another service, but I'm excited. We're gonna get a review on the Film Threat website by Callan Ponchu, who's doing the review, but also I sent the link that I sent to you to Az.
She is freaking hot. Oh no, when
The
like
trailer is on there. The trailer's on
this is a Batwoman I could get behind.
Yeah, there's the trailer. I am dying.
She runs around basically in like she's gifted in a lot of places.
Oh,
Wait, you know about this movie?
Yes.
I sent this to Az.
I've known about Batwoman for years. There used to be like you could get poster. There was a poster ever at Con this year. A good one.
Wow.
I want to just see her in the outfit.
Just
I
see
can't pan it.
the outfit is something else, man.
Oh,
Wait.
this is actually.
You got to get her on the ship. When she's on the ship, dude. And yeah, what the hell? Just look up
Here we go. But you got
That's not no.
So of course, Mexican film, they're wrestlers.
Hang on.
Find
Find a picture of Batwoman. Just put Mexican Batwoman X-ray girl and you'll see. You'll see. Matthew Garrett in 2 parts for $10 says, "Did we just get another bait and switch? Nick Fury and here's the chick. Seems like this was the entire idea of Disney Plus." I agree. It was there was plenty of Nick Fury in it, okay? But he was sitting down and talking and being like freaking cocked constantly. Use favorite male characters to establish or replace by lesser well-written female characters. That's it. It's a bait and switch. It is, we will use Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye to introduce Kate Bishop. And then you will love Kate Bishop so much, you'll forget all about Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye. And they forgot about the whole, like, let's make a good character. They even got Haley, I want to call her, I always call her Haley Seinfeld. I know that's not her last name, but who's like, I guess, she an attractive enough, likable enough character, and they still made her annoying in that show. And then they cucked Kingpin at the end. Go get him, snarky daddy. Be sweet to, I don't know what's that in reference
Be sweet to, I think.
to 3?
Oh, it's a heart.
It's a heart.
Yeah. It's and then the 3, like sideways.
I'm not a snark daddy. I'm a crabby daddy. That's what Melissa. That's what Melissa calls me sometimes when I get crabby. She calls me crabby daddy. Jens Anderson of the Tour on the Gelogia. Tiari. Sorry. Wow. Time flies and airplanes crash. By the way, it's a Subhumans EP. It's very good. Don't be hard on Stargate SG-1. Season 1 is kind of mixed bag, but it will get better. Yeah, the 3rd episode where they meet the... oh, God, what is it? Like, it's not Genghis Khan, but... I'm blanking on it. But, yeah, that was a little much. But I like the 2-parter. I like the opening 2-parter. Lucky Lopez for $99.99. Lucky Lopez says, audio is key. $100 from one YouTuber to another. Cheers. Yeah, I figured that out. WG has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you, WG. Godzilla Sam, 1954 for $10 says, the fact how Japan treats its entertainment property with respect shows how bad Hollywood has gotten at Western entertainment. We can say Western. Like French comics are still good. but I can't think like the BBC used to be a gold standard for me as far as like television shows. I've always thought the BBC was just a little better in a lot of ways, even though it's state run. But now it was a precursor to a lot of this shit, and it's shit now, along with our shit. So I'll say Western entertainment. Tardy and man bun wearing, says Mr. Bentham for $2. Agreed. White chocolate. That's a 7. I'm going to assume it's a T, so I'm going to say chocolate. Hale saw Oppenheimer last night. I give it 2 Hooters up. Oops, I meant thumbs. I heard it bombed in Japan, though. Thanks for being awesome. There you go. As is wonky eyebrow for 2 British pounds. Do you play bass on the intro that we missed, Gary? Yes. No, I don't. Dr. Death radicalized in the radicalized level. This is a member chat. I stand with Gina Carano. Fuck Disney. I agree. I hope Gina's doing well. I think she took a little time off. Maybe she's shooting something. I'm not sure. Maybe she's doing a movie. Not sure. Hope she's doing well. Mr. Buff on the Streamlab side for $10. Hey, man. God bless you guys. Quick question. Do you believe so far with the Superman casting, this is a start of something good and Marvel should be worried? All speculation, by the way. I'm going to wait and see with Superman. Marvel should already be worried, and it's of their own doing. And by the way, Marvel is worried. According to that person I talked to, they are extremely worried. Look for a lot of changes of titles, delays, stuff that isn't outright in production to probably fall by the wayside. Steel Leg of History for $4.99. I told Tomby why, and Nina, they can tell you and share with you why. With everything, I really don't know how much more I can take. Be blessed. Oh, okay. About what's going. Well, that's something. I hope you have somebody in your life to talk to. Make sure you talk to them. You have value, and I don't want to give you any any false hope, but there's always life presents a lot of opportunities. I'll paraphrase Tyrion Lannister. I prefer life. It presents a lot more opportunities. The other thing is so final. I hope you're okay. Fanman 344 Gandalf. Anywho, happy Wednesday, crew. G Money, did you see the UFO hearing? No, I'm gonna go back
Plan on it.
I plan on watching it later tonight. When are you going to cover that? This Sunday on Final Frontier? Probably. I mean, we might get hit for it, but I don't think we're going to cover the entire thing because it was, how long was it? It was hours long.
Hours. But in those types of things, there's a lot of like back and forth and pauses. So you got to find the good parts somewhere in there.
So we're going to go over it over the week and we'll review it on Forbidden Frontier this Sunday. Make more arrows. Thank you for the $10 donation. Appreciate it. Scott Kerr for 5 Canadian pesos. Have you watched Venture Brothers yet? Yes, I have. What did you think? When's the party? Is it a bittersweet send-off? It was, it was bittersweet, but I thought it was a little underwhelming. It was like an average to subpar Venture Brothers episode for which there are not many. But I didn't hate it either. So we will do a retrospective within the week. Will Politager on the for Jaloja membership, our membership, a membership message. Hail to all. Anyone seen the hyper violent, gory fantasy rotoscoped animation, The Spine of Night? Stars Richard E. Grant and Lucy Lawless. It's amazing. I have not seen that.
Dude, you've not. I recommended this. I talked to you about it. The Spine of Night is an animated movie. It's like a heavy metal comic brought to life. It's super gory. The lead character is this woman who's just full frontal nude for the whole thing. It's insane.
Where is it?
There's just video on demand. You can get it on Vudu. I talked to you about this movie over a year ago. I've interviewed the filmmakers actually on the Film Thread YouTube channel, and I interviewed Lucy Lawless and Joe Mantigiano. I always butcher his name. I feel terrible. But and the directors, it's amazing, Gary. It's like it's got like a sense of humor. It's bizarre. It's effed up. It goes in dark places. Just if you, dude, and it's like 90 minutes. Watch it tonight. The Spine of Night.
I'll watch it tonight. Yeah, I'm looking at it
The
right now.
Spine of Night. You can buy it on digital wherever your preferred. I always just use an app called Just Watch, because you might actually already have a streaming service where you can watch it and you don't have to buy it or rent it. So just look up Just Watch, download that app. I use it all the time. But Spine of Night. In fact, I'm going to look it up now.
I looked it up right now. I'm going to watch it. It does look like heavy metal. Holy shit.
Dude, I told you about this movie a year ago. Also catch RRR at some point. You should.
Yeah, I'll eventually get that. Hi, gang. Greetings from Argentina and keep guarding the gates. By the way, this may like a lot, but you know how our inflation rate works. Oh, this may look like a lot, but you know how our inflation rates work. So this is like $4. No, wait. It's like 2. No, wait, wrong again. 1. This is, you owe me money now, Gary. That's 2,000 Argentinian pesos, by the way. And I owe him $5. Dr. Death for 2 Canadian pesos. 11 years clean today. Have a coffee. Cheers. Congratulations. Faraway Finley. Free Super Chat Day. Hail to the fellowship. Hail to you. SOF was, Sound of Freedom was tough to watch, but good. Orlando meetup. I don't think there's an Orlando meetup this year. I don't believe there is one. So it's being pushed back. I'm not really sure. That's Jeremy will have to address that one, but I believe it's not happening. And they're probably going to push it back to coincide it with a con. But unfortunately, that month I'll be gone. I won't be in the States. Hawaiian pizza with anchovies. Give it a shot. Sweet and salty. No, Build King. No fish. I don't like fish.
Fish on pizza?
I don't like fish, period.
What?
I don't want it on pizza. Hippy Dippy. Streamlab side for 5. Is it Hippity Dippity?
Hippity Dip.
For 520. Hi, guys. For me, Tarantino's best films are his first 2, the crime classic Reservoir Dogs, agreed. $1.2 million budget, and of course, Pulp Fiction, which grossed $214 million on a budget of 8. They're funny, shocking, and extremely well written. What are your favorites? Those 2 are 2 of my favorites. I'm also a big fan of Jackie Brown. I love Jackie Brown. I think that's fun. Kill Bill Part 1. Kill Bill Part 2, not as good. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But Pulp Fiction is just like all-timer. And so is Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs is the shit. Love that movie. Had my tumor removed from my spine yesterday. Holy shit. Thandarius. 12 hours of surgery in a lot of pain, but you guys helped. Thank you.
Dang.
I'm glad it's gone. The pain will go away. God damn. I hope you feel better. 12 hours of surgery. That is brutal.
That healing from spine surgery.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be watching a lot of live streams on some pain meds. We might sound a little better. Just don't get hooked on that stuff, though. I hear Oppenheimer bombed in Japan, says Big Raj. Untamed Mando says, hope you all had a great time at the con. Keep doing what you're doing. Much love. Back at you. Mr. Gentleman on the Streamlab side for $3 watched Shin Kamen Rider, which is free on Amazon.com, as good as Shin Godzilla or Shin Ultraman, but it's absolutely desire to be a movie faithful to the 1971 original to honor it, and the fans is mind-blowing, unlike what they do with Western media today. That's awesome. I'll have to check that out. Shin Godzilla was fun. Seeing Raiders of the Lost Ark next month with a live orchestra playing. Score re-release classic movies the way they did during strikes, says the Tweaky Kid. I agree, and they probably will.
That's cool.
Hail Nooners, been here since Rosa Parks' Doctor Who. Oh, God, that is Radio Man. 1017 or 1017. Thank you. And yes, you have. That was the beginning. That was because I was just like, that's why I dropped like whatever pretense was left. I'm like, what the fuck was that? You just had a white woman assist Rosa Parks on the bus, a fucking Karen, by the way, and you see that as progress? Holy shit. This is crazy. And it just got worse from there. MK Solid 82 for $1.99. The new Exorcist will be the black and white cookie of horror. What do you think of that new Exorcist, Chris? Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, I have not seen that trailer. I've heard people talking about it. I don't know that. Look, you're never going to top the first movie. It's really, they're just capitalizing on the brand. And of course, they do this. They did this with the recent Halloween movie, where they brought back Laurie Strode, like it just, and Jamie Lee Curtis. You're never going to top the original.
No.
And I think part of the problem is, like with films like The Omen series and The Exorcist, I think we live in a time of where religion is less prevalent in our lives. And I am not a religious person, but I always appreciated that religion was like, oh, I can get behind the 10 Commandments. Those all seem like good ideas. I love the ideals that religion, that for the most part, religion, champions. I like the sense of community. But we are at a time now where it's become very anti-Christian. Like the environment's very anti-Christian. And I almost felt, at least, like, even if you're not a Christian, you can get behind the ideas and the sentiment behind all of those lessons in the Bible. If anything, Return of the Jedi is the most Christian of all the Star Wars movies, but you've excised just sort of religion from society as a whole, in particular Christianity. And man, it's I've never seen, you can be as anti-Christian as you want all day. You can be as anti-Christian in mainstream media. You can be anti-Christian in movies. Nobody gives a shit. You're anti-Muslim, get ready. Or it's just,
well, yeah, it's safe for them to pick
weird.
on. They've just redirected their bigotry. That's all.
It's bizarre. So what I'm saying is, to get back to The Exorcist, it almost seems like the reason that first movie is so powerful is because it's religion. It's steeped in religion. And The Omen, I mean, God, the Omen movies scared me as a kid because all this stuff's in the Bible.
Yeah,
it could happen.
It
And
works.
I remember being frightened. That first Omen movie, I mean, the third one got kind of dumb, but like the first and second one are horrifying. Images just
Exorcist 3 with
What's
George C. Exorcist 3 with George C. Scott is awesome. Love that movie.
Even like, for example, films like Charlton Heston in Planet of the Apes. In the Planet of the Apes, like, religion is mentioned, and there's a sort of new version of religion where it's just co-opted by apes, where it's kind of the same thing, but the apes just rewrote the book, the lawgiver, all that stuff. It was God, it's just so I miss religion being something that connects us. Whether you believe in religion or not, you can appreciate or at least respect someone else's religion. But you're in Hollywood and you mention you're a Christian, that automatically puts you in a box of unhireable.
Yep.
Look at Jim Caviezel, and
he's doing okay.
Sound of Freedom.
He's doing okay.
Well, but he's independent. He's got to kind of work outside. And good for him. Good for him.
Well, he's a person of interest, so yeah. Right.
So I hope
wasn't
he's
he in that?
some
What show was he in? Why am I blanking? I'm blanking
sorry.
what show he's in. It's all right. Yeah, we got to get Chris. You got to get ready for court. We got to finish up these super chats. It's the final day of the longest trial in history.
We're starting later today at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Wow.
Channel. Join the live stream. Drinker's going to be there. Nick Ricada. Other special guests are going to pop in. It's going to be like, and only Gary will remember this, I don't know. It'll be like an episode of Laugh-In. People are just going to pop in for 15 minutes. Gary, you're welcome to join. I can send you can come on for 15 minutes.
Well,
and
send me
leave.
send me the link.
I'll send you the link. It's I invited Az, but I don't want to pressure him. He's just he explained I just don't care about Star Wars. I get it. But it'll be an all-star fun lineup. Pop in for 15 minutes, and I have highlight videos of every episode that are hilarious. Like,
Oh,
it's like a best of this show, but you're going to be able to vote on each count, and it's not going to be easy. The vote needs to be 90% guilty in order for it to be a guilty.
Oh, this should be fucking easy. Come on.
If it's not 90%, it's not guilty.
Then we're gonna riot. Geeks will riot in Los Angeles.
I might even try. Who knows? It might. I'm just saying. And then the big thing is at the end of the show, we're gonna do 3 polls, and we're gonna pick the next franchise that is coming to critic support.
maybe get an idea of which franchises are on the poll.
Will it be the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Will it be DC? Who knows? But you can choose, and that it happens today at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern. I sound like some dumb TV announcer. I'm so sorry. I sound like I'm a shill for my own channel.
You should
That's
be.
Where I'm a
That's
shill.
what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
We had a good time in San Diego. By the way, you can see the whole panel at on the Film Threat channel. So go check it out. And
oh my God, I just realized I'm chatting with people who work for Film Thread. We already have. I said, hey, could somebody review Batwoman? I don't know why we don't have it. We already have a review of Batwoman on Film Thread. That's how on top of it we are.
Way to go.
It's got a picture you can show, the sexy picture you can show.
Oh, here, let me pull it. 1 second. I'll pull it up.
So, anyways, just
oh my God,
I love weird
outfit.
movies. I love weird movies.
That's what. That's the Batwoman outfit.
The CW could have done an accurate Batwoman.
Yeah.
Why didn't they do that?
It's a bikini. What's wrong with that?
Oh my God.
That's a Batwoman costume. I want to see that cosplay.
There you go.
Let's go cosplay world.
Dang.
Right?
I love it.
All right, Chris. We'll see you on court. Maybe I'll come by.
Yeah, all right. I'll send you a link. I'll send X-Ray Girl a link.
What?
Just come dressed for court. It's just dumb. It's not dumb. We're coming up with the verdict. Maybe I should make it, Gary, should I make it 95%? It has to be 95%.
I think you should have a plan before you start your stream.
I'm making it up right now. I'm making up my plan. I could use some advice.
It should easily get 90%.
90.
But 95%
makes it harder.
It could be that makes it more. I think that makes it more exciting.
Okay. You can suffer the
In
consequences.
real court, you have to have 100% for a guilty verdict, right?
Yeah, we're not going to get 100%. I think, okay, do 95.
Okay, I'm going to do 95. All right, it's been determined. All right, I'll see you in court. Wait, am I leaving? Or are we ending?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing super chats, and then because you got to, unless you want to stay.
Yeah, I got to get ready for court.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to everyone in the chat. Love you guys. I saw a lot of people at San Diego Comic-Con who came to the panel, who I just saw hanging out, who came by the booth I was at Asylum Press. Shout out to Frank and the boys at Asylum Press. Thank you for allowing me to sign my Blu-ray there. And for those of you who've ordered the Blu-ray, you can still get it. We're shipping them out now. We're kind of early. We said pre-order, but if you order it, we're just shipping them like as we get the orders. So go to attackofthedoc.com. And I just want to say thank you to everyone in the chat. Like seeing people in real life, and like you saw that crowd. And what was the best part was Gary was late to the panel. I loved it.
Yeah. Well,
that's so typical.
It's so great.
Well, I mean, I didn't get a location. I was like, it's at the Marriott. I'm like, oh, how big could the Marriott be? Pretty fucking big.
Oh no.
Turns out pretty fucking big.
I didn't know. I had to.
And then I tried to call Chris and he didn't pick up the phone. So sorry.
I'm so sorry, man. But we had a blast, and just to see everybody in real life, like, see that sense of community. And I know you hate that word, Gary. See the fellowship in real life. See all the adulation and love for Eric July. The loudmouths on social media are they're morons and they're cowards and gutless. Nothing happened.
No.
All the threats made on social media toward like you and Eric and whatever. Just nothing.
The only thing that happened is I wasn't allowed on a panel.
That was well, it wasn't my panel. If it was my panel, different
Yeah,
story.
exactly.
So but Paulie was on the panel. I love it.
Paulie did
jumped
great.
on the panel from
Paulie was
Latino
great.
Side, and then he brought up Sound of Freedom. I could see it was some uncomfortable.
I was so
moments.
They're like,
I love it.
we'll bring on Paulie, and Paulie was just like bass. Paulie came out. Paulie came out and
I love
shredded.
Paulie.
It was great.
He's great.
It was great.
So, all right, hey, take care. Love you all in the chat. Appreciate you. Love you, Gary. X-Ray Girl.
Love you too, man.
See you later today and next Wednesday.
See you on
for the
Critics
Nooner.
Court.
See you later.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Chris. He's gonna get ready. Chris, go. Frank Gore. Frank Gore. Judge Frank Gore. WG on the Streamlabs side has donated $25. Sorry I'm late for today's show, but like all number one seeds, I get a buy in the first round. Anyway, keep up the great reviews. Cheers. You get 2 reviews in the next week. You're going to get Secret Invasion and The Witcher. And yes, I'm going to see Sound of Freedom finally. So there you go. I'll probably do a video on that for Nerdrotic Daily. So that will be getting a video. No, for $5 says, thank God we have comic legends like Black Lightning's creator, Tony Isabella. He really put Eric July in his place. Take that, white supremacy. I know, dude. What? Yeah, that guy called out Eric July, and I'm like, the guy who created Black Lightning and Black Goliath. Who did make an appearance in Ant-Man. Jacqueline says, it's very sad there was no Asian Barbie in the movie, but at least we have X-Ray Girl.
Very sad. No diversity.
Yeah, we did. His name was Simulu.
True. Or is it Perry Chan?
Or is it Perry Chan? We don't know. Now I know why there was a couple of months there where it was hard to get a hold of Perry Chan. I know what he was doing. He was filming
Song
Barbie,
and dance as a Barbie.
doing a dance off. We shenanigans for $20. The GT trailers or Gran Torino trailers are crap. Gran Turismo. Did I say Gran Torino? Gran Turismo was directed by Neil Blomkamp. Sony apparently really kept a lid on the production. There is no woke at all. Possibly the best sports film of the year. Oh. All right. I'll check it out. Stick around. I've been out for 3 years. LOL, says Jay Taipei for $1.99. Stick around. I've been around for 3 years. We'll stick around for some more. 3 years. John Platt on the is a member message. Hail Gary, X-Ray Girl, and the chat. ISOM 2 coming soon. Yeah, it's coming real soon because it's ready.
I'm excited.
Damo for $4.99. Thank you for the donation. Dad's Den of Pop Culture says, too based for Barbie T-shirt design for X-Ray Girl. There you go. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm just saying it's a little difficult to make any based arguments about Barbie because it's an intersectional feminist film. Vila Idiot for $4.99. Heard it this morning on Geeks and Gamers Daily, but this is there any truth to the rumor that Keanu is going to appear in The Acolyte? Yeah, I heard that too. Who knows? As Darth Revan? But it's like a brief cameo. So what's the point? I'm with Az. I am so checked out on Star Wars. I'm going to review Ahsoka and probably The Acolyte because I think The Acolyte is just going to be a fantastic disaster. Could be wrong. Probably won't be, though. Marco says, hail from a proud supporter of your work. Cheers. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. The fact that you're proud, too. Met a lot of nice people at con. It was great. It was funny. I'd be standing next to somebody, and I'm in line just waiting, and then the guy's like, "Hey, you're Nerdrotic," and I'm all, "I am." No, it was very cool. It's very cool. It's weird. It's I'll never get used to that. It's surreal. It's weird getting recognized in random gas station in New Mexico too. That is
Really?
that is weird. Thankfully, it didn't happen in the bathroom, but like it did.
As you're going to the bathroom, hey,
like
you're
it,
Nerdrotic,
like it did
right?
at the Reverend Heart and Heat show. Hey, whatever. It's all good. The Grizzly 618 on the Streamlabs side for $5. Do you guys watch WDW Pro's video last night? I did not. The rot at Disney is at its core from the janitors to Bob Iger. The executives believe it's in deity is like Q religion and don't consider it political. I'd have to watch it for reference, but I believe that the stink and the rot from activism permeates Disney, and it would take a Twitter-like hollowing out to even get it going in the right direction. And I'm not even saying Twitter, which is now X, which I'm going to continue to call Twitter, is even 100% fixed, because it's not. And nor do I think it will be. Behold my awesome milestone. Behold! That's from Micro Mega. Thank you. As a member chat. Prince LEN for $2 says, hello, future UTIs under the influencers. Yeah, I thought I was listening to another show and I thought somebody said that, but they didn't. I'm like, but that's a good name. I'm sure somebody's used it by now, right? Under the influencers.
Let me see.
Baked Ewok. Be careful, X-Ray Girls. Sexually harassing everyone on this stream might have consequences per these mini preaching comics. Haha, hail everyone. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I feel like there's going to be a GIF at some point.
Hail Gary, here's to another 19 months. Oh, that's your milestone. Okay, so that's what these are, milestones. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm seeing them in a different section. Sorry. My apologies.
That's a lot of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts. Thanks for being here for 19 months. Holy shit. That's awesome. Edgar Friendly says, hail to the fellowship. Hail to you. Did you all watch the critically acclaimed Doctor Strange spin-off show Wong Division? That is a good dad joke right there. I like it. Jens Anderson of the Tari. I can say that. I just can't read it for some reason. Hope you stick to Stargate 1. Some episodes in first season are mixed bag. Some heavy hitters, some not. Episode 3 might be the worst of all of Stargates. Tekamate?
Tekamate? I'm not sure because I haven't watched it yet. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the Mongols, right? And it's yeah. East Coast Toasty Boy for $5. There isn't even mother-son relationships, well, except for Peter and Aunt May. And they that there was a father-son dynamic between Tony and him, and gone. Yes. One I didn't. I wasn't in love with, by the way. Aloha Boy says, you don't know? Mattel confirmed 14 more toy movies. Of course they are.
14.
Well, maybe maybe they'll get that He-Man movie sold. This is random, but question for all: which MI movie is the best? I still think Ghost Protocol is the best, but 6 is up there. Thoughts? I think it's between Ghost Protocol and 6, but I like 6. But Ghost Protocol, pretty damn good. Wow, 18 months feels like longer. Hail, glad you're back from the small break, says Jay Chacha. I am back to work. We're trying to get the UK sorted, and we're not having a lot of success. We're not having any success fighting a place. They either don't want that many people there, or they want to charge us through the roof. So if anybody in the outside London area has a venue, like a bar, that they're willing to have, I don't know how many people are going to show up. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Let us know. Otherwise, I think we need to reach out to like Sargon or something. Maybe he knows. Need to find some locals there. Local cinema didn't care and wouldn't let anyone in to see anything. Can remember going with friends to see Darkman when I was 9. That's right. Tuesnose, was there any actual comic book news out of San Diego Comic-Con? Any actual comic book news? None that blew me away, but I just don't care about the mainstream comic books anymore. I know there was like another gala there, another gala announcement. And I know DC's doing something. They're trying to redirect. Mark Millar talked about like he's going to be getting a Superman story off the ground. But nothing I can recall. I think my comic book news was just like looking at comic books. Henry back to play for $4.99. I just dig the Nooner. Cheers. Joseph Benowitz says, "What's up, Gary and X-Ray Girl?" Thank you. Thank you. Kyle Link for $5. Honestly, if Nolan didn't hire so many talented actors, I don't know that we would consider him to be as talented of a director. His style is, it's very Michael Mann. It's very Michael Mann, but not quite Michael Mann. To watch To Live and Die, of course, everybody's seen Heat, right? But To Live and Die in L.A. is another great one, too. Thief. Kyle Link for $5. Honestly, I read that one. Hey, guys, love watching you all. I was hoping to see Eye Candy as, but Gary will have to do. Grr, LOL. Thanks, Steve. Thanks. I'm not here to be easy on the eyes for you, okay? My Stick Neon for $2. Sinead O'Connor is dead at 56. What?
Yeah, she passed away. The news came out like during the show.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
What'd she die of?
I don't think they conclusively said a reason. Let's see. I know she was fighting mental illness, but I don't know if that had anything to do with it directly.
So it's not like self-deletion or anything?
I don't know. Yeah, it just says we request privacy at this difficult time.
Yep.
No information on what she died from. It's really sad.
Rest in
That's really
peace,
young.
Sinead O'Connor. Yeah. Like 3 years older than I am. I remember when she hit the scene. She did a song with The Edge called Heroin. And then The Lion and the Cobra, right? Her album came out. Then she did the thing with Prince. And that's a lot of nuts for $5. It's hard to I don't know where the segue goes with that. Rest in peace, Sinead. Read books, watch old TV shows and old movies, play video games, screw Hollywood, hail the BBC, and real BBC. I can fucking say it. And Frank Gore, the BBC. X-Ray Girl looks particularly ravishing today. Simp says copyright claim for 40 yen.
Thank you.
Kate C, a.k.a. Snake Plush Kitten, says, Josh Gad is an American James Corden. Yes, he is. Why is he famous? Like James Corden, I've only liked him in one or two things. 2 Doctor Who episodes.
He was in Doctor Who?
He's in Doctor Who, yes.
I didn't know that.
Well, he's in the Matt Smith era. JG for $2. There's a movie called The Wild World of Batwoman. It's a wild world. Omar for $4.99. My boyfriend and I love your channel, Gary. Keep up the great work. Cheers, Omar. We appreciate it. Oops, I meant to hit this. First season of Stargate is a little weak. It flies starting season 2 and 3. I'll get through it. Run, It's Godzilla. I'm not going to give up on it. I've already started. It's a long journey because it's not like Farscape, right? Farscape was like, 4.5 seasons, right? Farscape's masterful, though, by the way. Private Queen for $4.99. Heard that George R. R. Martin's HBO deal is on hold and he is working on his book. Any bets on that? He says he's been working on his book. We got to keep in mind, okay, I think everybody's deal is suspended right now during the strike. So it's not just George, it's everybody. They're going to bring him back. House of the Dragon is still in production. But as far as him working on the book, yeah, he should be working on that fucking book. Let's keep in mind that Dance with Dragons, which was released as of this month, 12 years ago, was the second half of the book he wrote. Feast for Crows and Dance with Dragons were one book that was split. A Feast for Crows was released in 2005. 2005. So essentially, a lot of that book had been written. And he left chapters out of Winds of Winter to carry Dance with Dragons to carry over to Winds of Winter. So he had 8-9 chapters already ready to go. Usually, I think Dance had 72 chapters. So he should have been done by now. He's never going to finish Dream. As I've said many times, A Dream for Spring, the final book, will remain forever a dream. Could he possibly get out the Winds of Winter? Sure. I don't think so, though. If he finishes it before the strike finishes it, sure. Okay. He said a year ago that he's 3/4 of the way done, but 3/4 of the way over 12 years, that would be, what, another 3 or 4 years to go minimum? So, Justin Hodson for $5. Not sure what year it was, but an interview with Tarantino said Dunkirk was the best World War II movie. Interstellar made bank, by the way. Can't bet against Nolan. No, you can't. They made money. I would never bet against him as a creator. Like, never. But I'm not going to say I love all his stuff, because I don't. Hi, Gary. Part of your 9% here. Stargate SG-1, Season 1, Episode 3, Emancipation is far and away the worst episode of Stargate 1. Skip it. every
no
watch.
One likes that
Blech.
one. I'll have to watch it to see why.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet? The third episode?
I'm halfway through and I just paused it. I'm like, oh God. It's rough. It's rough.
It all
But,
makes sense now.
I don't know. But I know there's bad Doctor Who episodes that I like.
Mm.
You know, even in the first season, there's a couple of stinkers that I like. But they're not as bad as this. But there's Star Trek Next Generation episodes that I skip. I just skip. Jai Taipei for $1.99. Fincher greater than Nolan. In some aspects, yes, he doesn't make more money, but I think artistically he is better in some of the films he's done. Yes. He's got more style, more panache. 7, Fight Club, Zodiac. Godzilla Sam, 1954.
Tokusatsu.
Greater than Hollywood. That's probably a pretty good argument that could be made for that right now. I cannot defend Hollywood. Best name I could think of for $5. Hey, Gary, if you haven't already, I recommend checking out a comic called Iran. It is a French comic that has been translated. The art is amazing. I'll have to check it out. ARAWN. I will check it out. More French comics need to be translated because they're fantastic. Taker 610. Twitter Ray Girl is now X-Ray Girl. There we go. Jay Taipei. The stick around was for Disney. Been out. Oh, okay, yes. Been out for 3 years. Good. Farfiknugan for $5. Chris was drunk. Trust me, I'm an expert. Spa could be Gary. Okay. Sounds like you're drunk when you type that. I get the joke. Jesus or Jesus has gifted 1 Nerdrotic membership. Cheers. It's probably Jesus.
Yeah.
Camelius Brunius for $10. You can watch Mexican Batwoman on Tubi, and you don't need to sign up for an account. The movie is cheesy but fun. Hell yeah. Copyright claim for 100 yen. Hey, X-Ray Girl, are you a volcano? Because I lava you.
Simpy dad joke. I like it.
Matthew Hammond for
love it.
$5. I am so glad you started Stargate SG-1. It starts getting better mid-season and becomes great towards the end of the first season. I'll take your word for it. I will get through a couple episodes when I'm done. I'll need a palate cleanser after watching Secret Invasion and Witcher Part 2. Christian Densler, thank you for the 25 Chilean pesos. Big Worm says, hail, hour and a half behind. If Emilia Clarke wasn't in the transfer pod during the reprogramming, the world was over. Insane convenience. Yeah, really insane convenience. And now she's the most powerful superhero on Earth. Like, without a doubt. Aloha Boy for $4.99. Jar Jar Abrams equals Hot Wheels, and Lena Dunham equals Polly Pocket. Also, Magic 8 Ball, Barney, Thomas the Tank, and Uno. Uno, what a universe we're living in. Will there be an Uno movie? Baltic Savage for 100 Swedish krona. Hey, Gary, I just rewatched SG-1, Atlantis and the Universe many times into the best sci-fi TV show of all time. Okay. I mean, Stargate fans fucking love it and never stop talking about it, so that's why I got to watch it. I got to know. It's J Tap EU.
Tapia.
Tapia. Okay. Just for your help, Gary. Haha. J Tapia.
Thanks, Jay.
J Tapia. I like Taipei. That sounded so much better.
Taipei.
Hey, that's it. We got through all the super chats.
Yep.
Thanks, J Tapioca. Just kidding.
Hey, tapioca's good. I
So
like it.
we'll be back Friday Night Tights with Sean from Think Before You Sleep. I'm sure we'll get into the Barbie debate again, but not for long, believe me, because we have The Witcher and Secret Invasion to talk about. And I'll be watching them. Secret Invasion was a special kind of bad. It really was, X-Ray Girl. So that will be my next video. So what do you got coming up, X-Ray Girl?
I have poor choices tonight with Tugs, and I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy 14 with some members a little later after this. And there is a couple more super chats that came in.
You read them.
Okay. Christian Densler for 20 Chilean pesos. That's Swiss francs. Okay, never mind. CHF is Swiss francs.
Did not know that.
Did not know that. Thanks for your work, you two. Keep it up. Vidman 5,000 for $2 US. GRRM, Game of Thrones ruined his Darth Vader climax. It's over. And Tim P from the Jaloja member says, check out Europe Comics Aldebaran series by Leo. It's great.
Will do.
And Graham Patelkin from The Radicalized. You should invite Brittany Venti on. She liked Barbie. Ooh. Interesting.
Well, yeah, so did Chrissy Mayer. We've had Brittany on, and yeah, we could bring Brittany in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it like that debate will get spicy.
Girls versus boys, just like in the schoolyard.
Yep. It'll get spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to watch Critics Court today. Drinker will be there. I don't know. It depends on how far I am in my video, and I'm going to the gym. I'm going to the gym, and then I'm going to come back and start recording. So, well, I got to write first, and then I'll record. Write
We got
is
one more super
bullet
chat.
points.
You guys keep coming in with these. Toxic Masculinity 619 for 5 says a theater in India accidentally played Oppenheimer with Barbie subtitles. And was Walt Disney ever a kitty lover? Was there any truth to what?
What was that?
With the Barbie subtitles, and was Walt Disney ever a kitty lover? Was there any truth to it? I guess that was part of the subtitles. I mean,
I don't recall that. No, he was anti-communist.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Other than
Dang.
that, I know there's a lot of there was a lot of accusations of anti-Semitism, which are just not true. So yeah.
Angry Yeti TV for $2 says, here's another. And Aloha Boy for $1.99 says, yes, those are the confirmed movies by Mattel. 14 movies. That's ridiculous.
Hot Wheels maybe, but yeah. Okay. Get ready
Thank
for
you,
some
everyone.
toy movies. I hope we get a proper G.I. Joe movie just for Jeremy.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. Okay. Thanks, everyone, for watching the Nooner. This will be unlisted, but of course, if you hang on to the link, you can keep watching, and it'll be re-uploaded in a couple hours on Nerdrotic Live. Again, I'll be back next Friday. I got 2 videos to work on over the weekend, so I'll be busy while my family is still gone. But I'll be having tons of fun. Thank you all for the support. Of course, you're brilliant. Thank you to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Let me get us out of here. We're just going to